This is the Troll Patrol, live with Justin Freakin.
Welcome to the Troll Patrol Live. It's a freaking Monday. Sorry about last night. I had every intention of coming on at like 10 p.m. It didn't happen. The whole time I'm sitting here watching SummerSlam with Curiouser, she's yawning. I think she made me sleepy and I ended up taking a nap after I got off stream. Well, I want to tip one back. I'm not high enough for this bullshit. Oh, I didn't turn on Kick and Rumble and D-Live, Odyssey, BitChute. Hey, people. Welcome in to the other platforms. You can't comment, but you can watch. We got news. We got news be doing stupid shit. The Democrats gave a press conference. The Democrats that fled Texas gave a press conference after the governor issued civil arrest warrants for them. Pam Bondi apparently impaneling a grand jury to investigate something, I don't know. We got an investigation into Jack Smith. We got Trump wanting to hold the G20 as a golf course. Apparently he told Chuck Schumer to go to hell. Chuck Schumer has responded. Oregon gal, welcome in. Good evening, darling. Hope you are well. Thank you for the resub. DJ Dub. Let's open up them phone lines too. I got some dipshit that's been arguing with me on Twitter. It'd be nice if we could get him to call in. That'd be fun. DJ Dub's going into lurk mode. We're going to do 9 Inch Nails. Live Music Monday. 9 Inch Nails. Right after the Troll Patrol. Should be a lot of fun. They've got a tour coming up this fall. A lot of people buzzing about it, so I figured it was a good time to watch them. I was going to watch some Lollapalooza highlights, but they didn't put up like individual songs the way Glastonbury and Coachella does. So I'll have to acquire Lollapalooza. We might watch it next week. I don't know that I'm going to be here next week. I'll have to tell you what day I'm going to be gone. Yeah, it says that people are buzzing about 9 Inch Nails. Curiouser is going to see them. So I figured 9 Inch Nails would be good to watch tonight. It's from their 2013 tour, I believe. Oh my God, Smokey. Well, then come over here. He has been trying to get in my lap for hours as I've been trying to get things done. I'm seeing The Weeknd and Playboy Cardi. I don't know if it's Monday or Tuesday of next week. That's why I'll have to update you on which day of the week it is that I will not be here next week. But I don't remember which day it is. It's one of those days. I want to say it's Tuesday night. So probably Tuesday night I will not be here and I'll be back on Wednesday. Possibly. I don't. It might be Monday. Who fucking knows? I don't. I'll find out whenever like she comes over and picks me up and we're on the road. That's how it works for me. We got all kinds of crazy shit. Speaking of concerts, a fan at an Oasis concert fell. I think he died. Warlord, did you push somebody to an Oasis concert? Minnesota opened for legal weed purchases, but apparently they ain't got no weed. Weed shortages hitting Minnesota. A train in New York City had to be evacuated. We got wild video from on board. A pilot declared Mayday on a United flight. Suspect in Boston denies chemically assaulting a teen. A cop got drugged behind a car in Las Vegas. Multiple manhunts, one in Montana, one in Tennessee. There's a mass shooting in California. I got an update on the Oklahoma superintendent that has been showing porn to people at the Board of Education on his computer screen. An 18 shot his parents and then walked over to a church to call 911. All that and a lot freaking more tonight on the Troll Patrol live. Good evening, Flash. Welcome in. Allegedly. What was it the dude said? It sounded like a 4-year-old. I see naked women. I see naked women. Surprised he wasn't looking at some gay porn. Knowing the way these Christian fascist fucks are. They may not be able to look cool at all. Maybe they thought that made them look cool. We're going to go to Texas, where the Texas GOP apparently locked the doors after Democrats left the state. Apparently they're residing in Illinois. You'll hear from them here momentarily.
Everything is bigger in Texas, and this week that includes the politics. So just moments ago, Texas Republican...
You're telling me everything's bigger in Texas, but I've never seen so much little dick energy coming from one state. Come the fuck on.
Lawmakers voted to arrest their Democratic colleagues who fled the state to prevent a vote on a controversial new congressional map.
The governor has called me, and I appreciate his support. He has offered DPS to fully help us make sure we need to do what can be done to establish a quorum and do this special session. Let me assure you of this. While our work may be delayed...
What is DPS? Double penetration success?
Whether it's tomorrow or next week, the House will complete its required duties. I have signed the civil arrest warrants. We will work with DPS to locate members. I saw, for instance...
Yes, that's exactly what it is, Flash.
They're doing a fundraiser here in Austin tomorrow. And I've sent that fundraising letter to DPS and said they should be invited to attend as well. We'll see how that goes forward.
All right, I want to bring in CBS News political director Finn Gomez for more. So, Finn, is this unprecedented, and what can we expect to happen next?
Yeah, this political game of Texas Hold'em has just had the ante upped right here with...
Excuse you, sir. This ain't Texas. This ain't no Hold'em.
Now, with these, with the Speaker of the Texas House now saying that these arrests have been, or these warrants have been issued, just want to make clear, Juliet, these are largely symbolic.
I'm sorry, I'll see myself out.
They will not face civil or criminal charges from the arrests. The warrants apply only within state lines of Texas. So as you know, the majority of these 50 Texas Democrats went to states like Illinois, to New York, and California. So just wanted to make clear about that in particular, Juliet.
Okay, yeah, that's a good clarification.
I think I'd head north. It's kind of hot out there.
I was just asked moments ago about the possibility of California going ahead with looking at redistricting. So I want to take a look at that sound that we have from Governor Newsom just moments ago. Let's take a listen.
I haven't seen them.
And once again, guys, this may work out in Democrats' favor. Apparently, this is Trump pushing this because he is afraid of what's going to happen in the midterms. But what they do if they pass their redistricting plan is they kind of dilute their power. And if it is a blue wave election, if there is deep discontent against Republicans, they may actually get wiped out by their own map.
But we helped initiate those conversations. My team were part of those conversations last night. They've been an ongoing series of conversations that continued into the evening, continued this morning, and will continue.
So I think California should take this opportunity to redistrict their map to favor Democrats.
That process has to have the concurrence, the support of 2/3 of the legislature. The maps, we believe, should be transparent. They should be provided in a transparent way to the public. And as a consequence, those maps are being processed and will be brought to light. I have not had the opportunity, nor am I getting into the details of what those maps look like. I'll allow more objective minds to do just that. But the ultimate determination will be by the people of the state of California. We will offer them the opportunity to make judgment for themselves. Again, only if Texas moves forward.
All right, those comments just made by California Governor Gavin Newsom. So the governors of New York, California, and Illinois, all in support of these Democrats. So what national implications could we have if this is passed?
Well, I was talking to some Democratic governors a couple days ago about this, and in particular, what I found was that there was this uniform response that they felt that Democrats should, and Democrat-led states should do something to counter these measures by the Texas Republicans with this redraw, and they've looked primarily to California. And what you heard Governor Newsom there, he's been loud and vocal about doing something to counter what's happening in Texas. It's a little bit harder, Jules, to do what the Democrats say they can do, what Newsom says they want to do in California in comparison to Texas. It's a different structure. It's a different process in California, which will likely require a voter referendum as a step before they do this redraw. So it is more difficult. Overall, the sense here is that, Jules, there's a redraw of congressional maps. The nexus behind this, what is happening in Texas, really started with President Trump, who pushed and encouraged Texas Republicans to begin to do this House draw. In part because, speaking to Republicans and Democrats, they feel that as of now, we're in August, of course, of 2025. But if you look ahead to the midterms, historically, the party in power does poorly or worse in the midterms and loses seats in Congress. And right now, that is the trajectory that a lot of people in both parties are telling me they expect. So that was the nexus. By adding 5 or potentially adding 5 more congressional districts, it could offset the losses the Republicans potentially face in next year's midterm elections. So that's a nexus behind all of this. But right now, we're like you said, we're in this Texas standoff that seems to be increasingly growing to be a national standoff with these Texas Democrats in different states, and now Democratic governors saying they're going to do the same. One quick note, Jules, that Illinois, the major state where a lot of these Texas Democrats fled to, there's been some Republican criticism calling this ironic because Illinois themselves redrew their map to favor Democrats very largely.
Yes, gerrymandering is a problem.
Districts back in 2021 that also set a bunch.
Let's make all of them competitive
towards those changes.
All right, good information. Finn Gomez will continue to follow this. Finn, appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Let's get rid of gerrymandering. I think that's one way AI could be useful. Please draw us nonpartisan congressional boundaries that will make the seats as competitive as possible. This was about an hour ago.
She just wants to make sure that it's here. And then
this is the Democrats in Illinois. I like how somebody in the chat. Oh, does it not have the live chat anymore? Oh shit.
And I
had it over here. Somebody in the chat said, there they are, arrest them.
The mic's hot. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. My name is Robin Kelly. I'm the Congresswoman from the 2nd Congressional District of Illinois. And I'd like to say welcome to all of my Texas colleagues. We want you to know that you are welcome in Illinois. Stay as long as you want. Whatever we can do to make your stay more comfortable, we want to do that because we believe in what you're doing. You are courageous, and we are here to support you. What you're doing and what they're trying to do in Texas affects you guys, but it affects the whole country. When you want to remove 5 Democrats, that hurts us in the House. As you can see what happens now when there's not enough Democrats to stop the big ugly bill and all the other stuff that they've been doing. They are trying to destroy our democracy, destroy fairness in our country. And unfortunately, they're starting with Texas.
Well, what are you going to do about it? Hold a press conference?
I don't.
Good fucking work.
Colleagues, some of them are here with me. Jasmine Crockett, my classmate, Mark Beasy, Al Green, Julie Johnson. We want all of them to stay, plus the others that they're trying to gerrymander. So with that, I want to give a minute to my colleague from Illinois, Congressman Roger Krishnamurthy, to bring his greetings.
Thank you, Congresswoman Kelly, and thank you to all of our friends who have come here.
Yada, yada, yada. Go on.
Individuals who are standing behind me, who've come to Illinois knowing that the rest of the nation is with them. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Congressman. And as he said, we are ready to fight fire with fire. No butter knife to the gunfight. We are ready to bring the fire, bring the heat. We can do that too. And it's absolutely my pleasure to introduce Chair of the Progressive Caucus, Representative Ana Maria Rodriguez Ramos. I got that out.
Yes.
Welcome.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being with us today.
Fuck those Democrats. Let's go to. They just wrapped up apparently in New York City.
Trump Hotel to call on the U.S. government to do everything in its power to bring about an end to this war, to compel Israel to surge food into Gaza and to bring the hostages home. Like the destruction of the temple, this disaster won't end in a day or a week or a month. Ending the war is only the first step in containing this disaster. We also need a political solution that guarantees that both Jews and Palestinians can enjoy their human rights, can live in safety, and can have the same right to self-determination.
This is moments ago in New York City.
But the good news is that more Jews around the world than ever are crying out for safety and justice for both Palestinians and Israelis. Together, we can move from disaster to consolation and then redemption.
Yet another explicitly Jewish protest against Israel's genocide.
My friend and colleague, Audrey Sassone, the executive director of JFRED.
I was told these were anti-Semitic protests.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Jill.
Is that Amy Goodman?
We're gathered tonight in heartbreak and horror to cry out with one voice and to say, in the name of all that is holy, make it stop. Since October of 2023, the Israeli government has been waging a relentless campaign of terror on the people of Gaza. They have shown over and over and over that
these Hamas supporting Jews
of hostage families to manufacture consent for their terror and are more than willing to abandon those hostages to achieve their primary goal: the destruction of Palestinian life, past, present, and future. Now, nearly 2 years into their shameful genocidal onslaught, we are seeing the dam of public opinion finally begin to break. More and more people are breaking their silence and taking action. They are demanding, like all of you here, an end to the blockade, an end to Israel's policy of mass starvation, and an end to the ongoing ethnic cleansing of Palestinians. If you're feeling that this change is too late.
Now, if you are of the opinion that that's not going on, I've got some news for you. I think I can prove it to you. We're going to go to ITV News. This was aerial footage that they filmed of the Gaza Strip and what it looks like following Israel's siege, calling it apocalyptical.
Building by building, Gaza is being erased. Cities like broken skeletons laid waste by war.
It's not war.
Of life and lives. The streets, homes and coffee houses of old now cast to the ground. The soul of this place, along with the souls who lived here, brought to ruin in the rubble and dust. Israel bans foreign journalists from entering Gaza. 15,000 feet above is the closest we get to seeing for ourselves the consequences of the war it is waging here. When we joined an airdrop last week, we were told Israel didn't want images from above being filmed or shown. Aid being dropped from this flight is to those who are trying to survive in this hell. This was Gaza before the bombs started falling.
Yeah, beautiful.
A place of life, where normal lives were lived. There is no sign of that normality now. This is the new normality for the Mohra family and others. Both Odeh and Mohammed have acute malnutrition on top of a neurological disorder. They need specialist milk and medicine. Without it, their lives are fading away.
This child, Uday, is 4 years old, and he...
And that's the kid that the New York Times wrote that correction about, isn't it? That he had other issues that was the cause of his starvation. Just disgusting.
Weighs just over 4 kilos. Mohammed is 3 and he's 5 kilograms. I call on the world to help my children get treated, or at least get them milk and nappies.
This is one of the explosions which destroyed Gaza. Targeting the Turkish-Palestine Friendship Hospital, the only specialist cancer hospital in Gaza. This is what's left of it now. This was the Al Wafa Old People's Home. We can't say what's become of its residents. This was a primary and secondary school. We can't say what became of the pupils. Many of the other ruins were homes. We can't say whether those that lived here survived or are among the 60,000 now dead. Under international law,
total undercount,
to target schools, hospitals and other civilian sites. Those trying to help Palestinians in Gaza survive are now struggling themselves.
When we manage to deliver aid to a specific area, we are met with the eyes of those around us. People looking at us as if to say, when will it be our turn? Everyone is hungry. Everyone is in need. Everyone feels like their life depends on this.
This landscape of destruction looks otherworldly, yet it's not. It is this world, and what is happening may yet come to define one of its darkest eras. One that casts a stain on humanity, which will endure for generations.
It is difficult not to feel furious when a man-made disaster such as what is happening in Gaza causes scenes so shocking
man-made
as those filmed for us today when supplies from the aid drops hit the ground. It is an anger shared by many opponents of Israel's Prime Minister Netanyahu. Pressure on him to reach a ceasefire with Hamas increased after the emaciated images of 2 Israeli hostages were published by their captors, with demonstrations by thousands of Israelis at the weekend.
Something has to be seen to be done, and airdrops look really good. Gazans waiting below even applaud this one. And then the race is on. There are gunshots. They know it's first come, first served. A free-for-all. While the supplies are dispatched with military precision, their descent is the last gentle thing about this process. Any sense of order comes crashing down the moment the pallets land in the hellhole that is Gaza. The strongest get stuck in and try to toss items to women relatives who are standing on the periphery of the melee. We don't want airdrops. We are getting virtually nothing and it's not fair. I have an old disabled man at home. Only people with knives get food here, said this woman. As the items left to be retrieved become fewer, the competition becomes more intense. They fight for food like their lives depend on it.
Their lives do depend on it.
Highlighting the extent to which chaos now reigns in Gaza. And it means many walk away empty-handed. This is not fair. I've been waiting since 5 this morning. I want to tell the world they need to stop this war. It's humiliating.
It's not a war.
Kill us all with one bomb. I can't even give my children a piece of bread, said this man. This woman dropped lentils she managed to get and the bag broke. She's trying to sieve out the food stuff.
Oh, God.
We're trying to get rid of the sand and stones so we can feed the children. Is this enough? Are you joking? They want to kill us, or they want us to kill each other, she said.
Yes.
Eli David is also impatient to see this war over, as he fears time is running out.
It's not a war.
Brother. At the weekend, Hamas released these images of the emaciated Eviatar. At one point, he's digging his own grave. Eli can't bring himself to look at the images.
My sister watched it, my father did, my mom and I, we couldn't, because I know if I watch that video and I've heard the details, I know what's going on down there, I'll collapse. And right now, I'm his older brother. I need to take care of him. I need to fight for his life.
Back in February, Hamas featured Eviatar in another cruel propaganda video as they forced him and a fellow captive to watch several hostages being set free.
We thought that's the peak of cruelty, the peak of emotional torture. And then 2 days ago, we get that absurd, twisted video of my brother being a human skeleton, barely alive, barely able to speak, barely able to move.
As peace negotiations flounder, the whole sorry mess that is Gaza seems to be going from bad to worse. As Israeli hostages are made to starve in tunnels above ground, Gazans are forced to do this. It's a graphic and distressing illustration of how much they need and how little they're getting. John Irvine, News at 10, Tel Aviv.
And Emma and Rohit are here to make...
We don't need no commentators' opinions. That was good reporting from ITV, though. This guy was on with Democracy Now! Last week. Bernie featured him in a video. This is a former U.S. Special Ops soldier describing all of the war crimes he saw in Gaza.
So the reason for me wanting to come forward and share this story is apolitical. The distribution method, the delivery of aid, is not being done in line with American values.
20 Palestinians were killed while trying to get to food aid distribution sites.
My name is Tony Aguilar. I'm a retired Lieutenant Colonel Green Beret from service in the United States Army. I served for a career of 25 years. I've deployed to Iraq, Afghanistan in combat operations and numerous other operational deployments. So I spent a considerable amount of time in Gaza during my 45 days in Israel. I was under a contract by UG Solutions, which is the security apparatus under the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. I felt it was a noble cause. I felt it was a good mission to feed the people of Gaza. So I did sign up and go on the contract. The IDF gave us, SRS, UG, they gave us our marching orders. They told us which sites we would deliver from, when we would deliver, how much aid we would deliver, how much time we would stay on the site to deliver, what type of aid we would deliver. The IDF controlled and directed every aspect of the delivery of aid. From the very first day, distribution at Site 1 has been chaotic, pandemonium. The best way that I can describe how the Palestinians reach the site to receive aid is akin to the Hunger Games. Survival of the fittest. Whomever can run the fastest and the furthest to get to the site first gets the aid. So those that are typically left with receiving no aid, no food, no type of aid are children, women, disabled. The sites themselves, in terms of the process for having the Palestinians leave the distribution site, was done through shooting at them, hitting them with pepper spray and tear gas, firing rubber bullets from shotguns at them. And this isn't something that happened just once or twice. This happened every
time.
Day.
Every fucking day. I did the same news report. Dozens of Palestinians killed at an aid site where they were fenced in. It was every day for weeks.
At every distribution, at every site. This is not hyperbole. This is not Hamas propaganda. This is not Gaza Ministry of Health saying it. It's me. I've seen it. The contractors, on one occasion, on the 29th of May at site number 4, opened fire with his individually assigned weapon into the crowd, at their feet, over their heads, and into the crowd. As he did this, he celebrated what he was doing and he yelled, "Woohoo!" Then another contractor who was standing next to me said, "I think you got one." The contractor that was shooting then replied, "Hell yeah, boy." I took the video. I was there. I saw it. I watched it happen. The contractor that said, "Damn, I think you got one, man," was referring to a Palestinian man that fell to the ground and never got up. It's within my assessment that he was dead. And another incident on the 2nd of June at distribution site number 1, which is in the south in Rafah, I witnessed a UG contractor throw a stun grenade into the crowd. The metal fuse top of the stun grenade hit a Palestinian woman in the head, and she immediately dropped to the ground, lifeless and motionless. A donkey cart was brought onto the site to load her onto the donkey cart to remove her from the site at the direction of the SRS operational leadership. She was dead. This happened on the site. On the 28th of May, we submitted a report to the leadership of UGS and Safe Reach Solutions that site number 3 in particular was dangerous and that people would die if changes were not made. Those changes were not made. And on the 16th of July, 20 people died.
20 Palestinians were killed Wednesday morning at its food distribution site in Khan Yunis.
Palestinians, human beings, trampled to death on a site that we could have prevented. Those deaths are on us as Americans. We're complicit in that. In the dozens of distributions that I was a part of at every site, Not one time ever did I feel a threat, assess a threat, see a threat, never saw a weapon, never saw a gun. The fire, the actual small arms fire that we received on the locations at times came from the IDF in our location. The entire city of Rafah has been razed to the ground, so there is no civilian population around the sites. They have to travel 8 to 12 kilometers one way, on foot, no vehicles. Most of them don't have shoes, poorly clothed. They haven't eaten, they're starving. There is no water that's distributed in the humanitarian aid. And to get there, they have to walk through an active war zone. On 2 occasions, I bore witness to a Palestinian man in one instance and a Palestinian woman in a second instance that were carrying their dead children. And these children didn't die from gunshot wounds or from sickness or disease. They died of starvation. I've seen it with my own eyes. I witnessed it on the ground in Gaza. Americans don't set up food to a starving population and have them walk through a war zone just to then shoot at them and hit them with stun grenades and pepper spray and then send them on their way. That's not the American way. That isn't in line with American values. After 25 years of service, when I hung up my uniform, I didn't hang up my oath. And my oath is to the Constitution and to the values of this country. Not to a president, not to a Congress, not to a company, but to this country. And I think most Americans would agree with that. The distribution itself is not feeding the population of Gaza. In fact, we are starving them because we are providing them with so little. The mechanism in place right now does not work. It is my job to make sure that the American people know this, because our tax dollars are going to this. Your tax dollars, U.S. taxpayers, are funding this. When I was hired on the 14th of May, signed my contract, that was supposed to run through the 21st of August. On the 14th of June, at that point, I had witnessed indiscriminate shooting, inappropriate use of force, dereliction from the leadership. I brought each circumstance to the leadership with a recommendation and solution on how we could address this. I was committed to seeing this succeed. When the leadership ignored it, that was my red line. That crossed my moral threshold of what I could put up with. And I left. I terminated my contract and I came home.
So it was Tony Aguilar, a retired Special Forces Green Beret, Purple Heart recipient, was part of the aid distribution, telling you what he saw on the ground in Gaza. All the war crimes. But don't worry, our United States Department of Justice is on the case. They are going to prosecute the people responsible for these heinous crimes, like the Russia investigation.
A source telling CNN that Attorney General Pam Bondi has directed federal prosecutors to launch a grand jury investigation into accusations that Obama officials manufactured intelligence about Russia's 2016 election interference. A grand jury could issue subpoenas or even pursue a potential indictment as part of a criminal investigation into allegations that Democratic officials.
You know, we already did this. It was called the Durham investigation. And do you know what it found? Fucking nothing.
Officials tried to smear Donald Trump during his 2016 campaign by falsely alleging his campaign was colluding with the Russian government. Now, this follows a recent move from Trump's Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. She declassified documents that she alleged undermine the Obama administration's conclusion that Russia tried to help Trump defeat Hillary Clinton. Let's bring in CNN senior legal.
You know what? Caroline Leavitt looking kind of snazzy in her little outfit there. She can be my GOP mommy.
Analyst Ellie Honig. Ellie, what do prosecutors need to start or
$10?
What's the process?
So many mommies, so little time.
Because now we've moved from beyond the stage of reports and referrals and political statements into what appears to be an actual criminal investigation by the Justice Department. Now, traditionally, and I can't necessarily vouch or speak for this particular Justice Department because they've defied a lot of norms, but traditionally the burden to open a grand jury investigation is fairly low. It's not nothing. As a prosecutor, you have to have some basis to believe that a federal crime may have been committed. But Phil, now that there is a grand jury convened, that gives DOJ prosecutors enormous investigative powers. You already mentioned the two major things that grand juries can do. Number one is investigate. They can issue subpoenas. These are criminal subpoenas. They're essentially mandatory. You can challenge them, but they're typically upheld by courts. You can subpoena witnesses who will have to come in and give testimony in the grand jury. And then the second thing grand jurors can do, and we're down the line here, is ultimately vote to indict. That's how federal prosecutors obtain indictments. The burden is simply that you have to show probable cause that a crime was committed. It's a much lower burden than in order to show someone's guilt. So this is a major step forward in this investigation, potentially quite a precipitous one as well.
What do you think the likelihood of an indictment of somebody that maybe is well known to the American public would be in a situation like this?
Okay, so here's the thing. An indictment's pretty easy to obtain with a grand jury. So they might be able to actually squeeze out a few, but nothing is going to come of this.
Gosh, I have read Tulsi Gabbard's summaries and reports really carefully. I've tried to make sense of this, and I am not comprehending where the criminal theory is at all.
Me neither, brother.
Tulsi Gabbard's theory, which this started with a referral from Tulsi Gabbard over to DOJ, is essentially that Barack Obama or some of his officials were involved in falsifying intelligence around the 2016 election. But when you look at what the actual facts are, that simply does not appear to be true. The intelligence estimate at the time was that Russia was attempting to interfere in the 2016 election in Trump's benefit, and that they did that through persuasion, through taking out Facebook ads and that kind of thing. But the intelligence also showed
in the hack and dump operation
between Donald Trump and the Russians, and that there was no actual hacking to switch over votes in the systems. That intelligence has since been confirmed by the Senate Intelligence Committee, Republican-led, by DOJ itself through their Inspector General. So I'm not quite sure where I see, A, discrepancy there, never mind, B, Phil, a federal crime. I mean, we've heard terms like seditious conspiracy and treason. I'm not seeing anything close to that. And finally, Phil, I do have to note, all of this conduct would date back to 2016. Here we are 9 years later. The statute of limitations on most federal crimes is going to be 5 years. So I'm skeptical, but look, this is going to happen largely behind closed doors, and we'll see where it goes.
L.A. Honig, always appreciate it, my friend.
Well, as I said, pretty easy to get an indictment from a grand jury. Statute of limitations may have expired on that, so let's look into something maybe a little more recent. Ex-Trump prosecutor Jack Smith under investigation by the Office of Special Counsel after claims of playing politics. Because, that's what he did. The Office of Special Counsel has launched a formal investigation into Jack Smith, the first official legal probe into his conduct. Smith is the Justice Department lawyer who oversaw 2 criminal investigations into President Donald Trump during the Biden administration, one into Trump's handling of classified documents, and the other into whether his actions on January 6th were an attempt to overturn the 2020 election. Both cases were eventually dismissed. Due to Trump winning the presidency, he was guilty as fuck of both of them. An email reviewed by the Post states the Hatch Act unit, which enforces a law restricting government employees from engaging in political activities, has begun reviewing the former special counsel for the United States Department of Justice. The email was written by senior counsel Charles Baldus. I appreciate the Office of Special Counsel taking this seriously and launching an investigation into Jack Smith's conduct. No one is above the law. Jack Smith's actions were clearly driven to hurt President Trump's election, and Smith should be held fully accountable. This is according to the Senate Intelligence Committee Chair, Tom Cotton, who was part of January 6th. OSC opened the investigation into Smith after Cotton wrote a letter earlier this week alleging Smith took blatantly political action to undermine President Trump in his 2024 bid. Smith, who was appointed by President Biden's Attorney General Merrick Garland, resigned from his post as special counsel for the Department of Justice in January after Trump assumed power. Did you know that back a few years ago when all the Confederate monuments were being taken down, I heard from right-wingers that, they didn't want to erase history. Did you know that Trump had been impeached twice during his first term? Some people might not have, because the Smithsonian took down any reference to Trump's impeachments. Smithsonian apparently expected to restore the Trump impeachment exhibit in the coming weeks. A placard referring to Trump's 2 impeachments was removed from the National Museum of American History in July after the Smithsonian agreed to perform a content review. The Smithsonian said on Saturday that it would restore information about President Donald Trump's 2 impeachments to an exhibit in the National Museum of American History in the coming weeks. The Washington Post reported on Thursday that in July, the museum removed a placard describing Trump's impeachments and reverted the exhibit to how it looked in 2008. That display says that only 3 presidents have seriously faced removal: Andrew Johnson, Richard M. Nixon, and Bill Clinton. The change to the exhibit, The American Presidency, A Glorious Burden, occurred following a review of legacy content, which a person familiar with exhibit plans said the Smithsonian agreed to perform after Trump attempted to fire a Smithsonian Art Museum director earlier this year, because of course he did. On Saturday, the Smithsonian released a statement saying, "We were not asked by any administration or other government official to remove content from the exhibit." The placard, which was meant to be a temporary addition to a 25-year-old exhibition, did not meet the museum's standards in appearance, location, timeline, and overall presentation. The statement read it was not consistent with other sections in the exhibit, and moreover blocked the view of the objects inside the case. For these reasons, we removed the placard. The section in question, impeachment, will be updated in the coming weeks to reflect all impeachment proceedings in our nation's history. National Museum of American History spokeswoman Valeska Hilbig told the Washington Post that the museum had made no other changes as part of the content review. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like Trump's already done at least a handful of things, not dozens of other things, to warrant his impeachment during the second administration. Here's another one to add to the pile. He's apparently privately discussing plans to host the G20 at his Doral resort. And this is according to White House officials. Donald Trump is quietly discussing plans to host the 2026 G20 summit, a forum of the world's largest economies, at his Doral Golf Club in the Miami area. A White House official told CNN the idea has been discussed for weeks. The official said CNN previously spotted an aide carrying a G20 Miami 2026 sign into the Eisenhower Executive Office building in June. Trump had previously planned to host a G7 summit at his Miami area resort in 2020 during his first term, but ultimately reversed course after facing widespread outrage over the decision to host the major gathering of world leaders at his own property. It's basically going to be world leaders paying tribute to him. At the time, the president called the criticism his administration was facing irrational hostility and wrote, "I thought I was doing something very good for our country by using Trump National Doral in Miami for hosting the G7 leaders." Officials had argued that using Doral would be significantly cheaper than other options. They also said the event would run at cost, meaning without any profit by the Trump property. In the end, the onset of the coronavirus scrapped any need for the physical venue. The leaders met over video conference. The current discussions regarding the 2026 G20 summit raised similar questions of potential conflicts of interest. Critics have in the past accused Trump of violating the Emoluments Clause of the Constitution, which restricts the president from accepting gifts and money from foreign governments. In his first term, Democrats crowd foul at Trump's Washington, D.C. Hotel, which became a popular destination for foreign delegations to spend money. But Trump has largely been undeterred, frequently mixing presidential and personal business. On a recent trip abroad, he visited 2 golf properties bearing his name, Trump Turnberry and Trump International Scotland in Aberdeenshire, where he participated in a ribbon-cutting ceremony for the opening of a second 18-hole golf course on his property. The president has also made millions from his family's cryptocurrency ventures, foreign investments, private clubs, and the sale of a host of Trump-branded products. He's actually a fucking billionaire now. I am pretty certain that he was never actually a billionaire. He is now. And that is disgusting. Thanks to us, the American taxpayer. Go us! Yay! Apparently last week, Trump told Chucky Boy Schumer to go to hell, which is something I've said a gazillion times on this show.
Good evening, everybody.
Go to hell, Chucky Boy.
Coming at this late hour. So let's be clear what happened. Donald Trump attempted to steamroll the Senate to put in place his historically unqualified nominees, but Senate Democrats wouldn't
Like Judge Jeanine Pirro, who is now a federal judge.
let him. In a fit of rage, Trump threw in the towel, sent Republicans home, and was unable to do the basic work of negotiating. Is this the art of the deal? Posture? Cajole? Stamp your feet and then give up? This says it all. Donald Trump tried to bully us, go around us, threaten us, call us names, but he got nothing. And he walked away with his tail between his legs. We should be
You call that nothing?
On legislation to get things done for the American people. That's the way to go. Not changing the rules, because when they change the rules, they say only we're going to decide what's good for the American people. And every time they do that, the American people lose.
Resign! Everyone hates you. Resign, Chuck. You're not fit for this moment. Has everyone seen the new Rose Garden? The remodeled Rose Garden is complete. Let me get you an image before you hear Trump's thoughts on the matter. Used to actually be a garden with roses, you know, that's why they called it the Rose Garden. Much, much different now. It's like a patio. There is a patio where the Rose Garden used to be. This was Trump's thoughts on it.
Mr. President, are you happy with how the Rose Garden turned out? And will you have some kind of event for the Rose Garden? Are you happy with how it turned out?
Yeah, we're getting great reviews on the Rose Garden, and we had to do it. As an example, when we had a press conference, you'd sink into the it would take 3, 4, 5 days for
the remix
out, and we couldn't use it for really the intended purpose. So whether they had events or they had news conferences, we couldn't use it. And it's a beautiful white stone, and it's a stone that's the same color as the White House itself. And because it's very white, it's going to reflect the heat. It's not going to be very hot, like if you had a dark stone. So, yeah, we've gotten great reviews on the Rose Garden.
Do you have any update?
Great reviews on the Rose Garden. He's getting great reviews on his job numbers. Did everybody see the job numbers? Here is job growth through July 2025. You can see the precipitous drop-off following Trump's policies going into effect. This caused him to fire the person that does the numbers.
President Trump is still lashing out at labor economist Erica McIntyre, who until Friday led the small but crucial Bureau of Labor Statistics.
So you know what I did? I fired her. Right. And you know what? I did the right thing.
He fired her after the Bureau's monthly jobs report showed the U.S. economy added an underwhelming 73,000 jobs in July. At the same time, the Bureau dramatically revised its jobs numbers from May and June downward, making them the smallest months for job growth since 2020. Today, Trump called them fake political numbers concocted to hurt Republicans. An explosive accusation that his aides have yet to back up.
I think it's a massive failure of our data agencies to be making willy-nilly changes that are difficult to understand and often have apparently partisan patterns.
The Bureau of Labor Statistics revises past jobs reports every month as more data comes in. In the final year of President Biden's terms, jobs numbers were later revised downward for 8 out of the 12 months. In the final year of Trump's first term, they were revised up 8 times.
That's just part of the process of ensuring that the numbers that we end up with are as accurate as possible.
Catherine Abraham served as BLS commissioner under Presidents Clinton and George W. Bush. I spoke to her remotely today.
There's no way that I could have rigged the numbers, even if I'd wanted to. The numbers are produced using procedures that are specified in advance.
So what the president is accusing her of is something that it would be almost impossible to do.
Yes.
Impossible. Yeah, she called it an understatement.
Accusations is that McIntyre inflated Biden's job creation numbers to make them look better before last year's election. But Maurice, that is incorrect. The Bureau actually scaled back Biden's numbers repeatedly in the months just prior to Election Day in 2024.
Okay, Nancy Cordes at the White House, thank you.
Oh, you mean Trump lied? Oh, no shit. No way. I'm so shocked. Mwahaha. Over the weekend, he was asked about Virginia Giuffre again.
7 years from the time that you learned that people were being stolen from Mar-a-Lago to the time that you took on Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, I don't understand your question. 7 years from the time that you learned that people were being stolen from Mar-a-Lago to the time that you took.
The 7 years between the time that you say that you found out that he was stealing employees to the time that you supposedly kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. Shocking news came on Friday, and that's when News That You Want to Bury comes out. Ghislaine Maxwell moved to a minimum security prison where she's apparently not allowed to be. This is a look at the low security prison she's been moved to in Bryan, Texas. Federal prison camp. They're going to prison camp. Yeah, is this a reward or is this the beginning of Ghislaine didn't kill herself? It could be either one. Apparently cameras not allowed inside of the facility. Meaning there's apparently not security cameras inside of the facility. DJ Dub, this is where they send the rich people. This is where the rich and famous go. You would think there's surveillance cameras. You would think. The committee looking into Ghislaine, the oversight committee, delaying her deposition now.
Do want to get you right back into your headlines here, as Jeffrey Epstein's accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, has been transferred to an all-female minimum security federal prison camp in Texas 10 days before she was expected to be called to testify before Congress. Maxwell is currently serving out a 20-year prison sentence after being convicted of sex trafficking minors. She was previously housed at a low-security facility in Tallahassee, Florida, one that included both men and women. That's where just a little more than a week ago, U.S. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche interviewed her for several hours over a 2-day period.
Oh, no way.
Confirming.
Oh, this should be fun. Are you with me? I can't. Hold on a second. The chat can't hear you. Give me 1 sec.
Yeah, give me a second too. I'll be right there though.
All right, cool. This is the guy that wanted me to watch 2 hours of a fucking Rumble video on Twitter. He popped in our Discord and he posted some dude's thread. It was like a guy talking into his camera phone, just spouting off about shit he knew nothing about.
Well, hey, I'm about to be a guy talking to my camera about shit I know nothing about. So
why have opinions on shit you know nothing about?
Maybe we should start with things that we both know plenty about then.
Well, I'm just like, why would you want to have an opinion on shit you know nothing about, you know? Like, I don't understand why people want to have opinions on things like that. Like, you're talking about Ukraine and shit. Like, do you know fucking jack shit about foreign policy? I don't.
I know more than I feel like most people just give it.
No, you fucking don't, dude. No, you fucking don't. Your information comes from Rumble and podcasts. You don't know jack shit. Like, what's your educational background?
I don't really feel like needing to get into that, but if you'd like, I can get into my like political history. That might be interesting.
Like, what political history? What does that mean?
Like, I was a Bernie Sanders supporter back in 2016.
Okay, then why would you fucking jump on Trump's cock?
Because Bernie Sanders got completely shafted in the primaries by Hillary Clinton.
I don't know what that means.
Establishment. You know superdelegates at all?
Yeah, I know what you're referring to, man. What upsets me is, like, she won fair and square by the rules that were set up. Bernie knew the rules. Bernie was running as a protest candidate. He didn't think he had a chance of winning. He wasn't It wasn't until January of 2016 that Bernie looked around and was like, hey, I do kind of have a shot at this. And by then it was too late for him to make an actual go of it. That's no reason to just all of a sudden
recently then and say he got completely shafted by the DNC. Like he recently like came out and said it. I can share you a video of him talking.
I doubt he's
to podcasters about.
I don't know what you mean by shafted. I don't.
Democrats. And like the whole like calling Bernie bros like racist, sexist, all that bullshit that was going on.
Brother, I don't see. Once again, this is all about fucking feelings, man. I like talking about policy. I'm into politics because I want my friends to have higher wages and access to healthcare and shit. You've got some weird one. It probably is a sign that you're affluent and that you don't actually aren't affected by the material conditions that we're all facing day to day, and you're operating on your feelings.
No, I'm operating off of seeing like
you just told me that you turned
completely shafted and not actually getting the thing that they voted for. Like my main reasons for supporting and wanting to vote for Bernie Sanders got completely flipped on their head when it went to Hillary. Because my main reason for voting for Bernie Sanders was that he was against the ongoing endless wars in foreign countries. And Hillary Clinton was trying to like literally set up a no-fly zone over fucking Syria to shoot down Russian jets. So like that's obviously not in my interest, especially given that was the very first time I had the ability to vote, and I wasn't really wanting to get drafted into a war with Russia.
Why do you think that we would be in a war with Russia?
We are in a proxy war with Russia right now in Ukraine. Under the Biden administration, that really kicked off. So, like, I feel like that shit probably would have happened under Hillary.
Okay, we are providing munitions to Ukraine.
Yes, I agree.
Because they're our ally.
Providing, like, training.
And we signed...
And, like, logistical support. And we're like, hey, here's the missile. Here's how you aim the missile. Here's the target of the missile.
Okay, brother, like, you're getting emotional right now.
Everything. No, I'm just pointing out that we're doing a lot more than just giving them weapons. We're like, without us, their shit falls apart. Like, they're, like, completely fucked.
Okay, you may not know this, but we actually signed an agreement in 1993, I believe it was, that Ukraine would not develop nuclear weapons in exchange for our protection.
Okay, and
we are living up to our agreement that we signed with our ally.
I'm honestly more on board giving them shit since they've signed the mineral deal. Like before that, when like Zelensky was being like a little bitch in the White House and wasn't wanting to play along.
Okay, man.
Now that we have an actual vested interest, I'm actually in agreement with continuing.
The mineral deal is like just not, it's propaganda, brother. And like that's
literally the only reason I care, because it actually gives us a vested interest.
We don't have a,
did not have before.
We don't need any of Ukraine's minerals. It's like you have no idea what you're talking about.
From it though,
and you listen.
Throwing our armaments.
We're not gonna get anything from it. We're selling our armaments. It's defense contractors.
More recently,
capitalism is,
especially since we're selling them to the, I believe NATO or EU, and then they're buying them and then selling it to.
Once again,
yes.
Let me pull back here, brother.
Is we were giving them money, like loans that they didn't have to pay back, to then buy our weapons. So that was actually what was happening.
Yeah, brother, I understand the way defense contractors work, and I fucking hate it. But that's capitalism.
It's literally the
My God, dude, let me fucking speak.
Sorry, I apologize.
Fucking shit, dude. Like what you are not understanding is that like our entire economy is a house of cards in order to keep capitalism functional. And we're built on.
We went into a depression, and then we started the war in Russia, and that ramped up.
We didn't start a war in Russia, dipshit.
Complex.
That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. We didn't start a war in Russia.
No, but the war kicked off, and yes, partially because of us, because like for some reason,
and I have a feeling. Do you watch Tim Pool?
Take the possibility.
You even cited Benny Johnson to me.
Out of the possibility.
You even cited, brother. Let me fucking talk. You even cited Benny Johnson to me. Did you know that Benny Johnson was on the tape from Russia? You watched Tim Pool.
Which tape? Which one?
Benny Johnson has been funded by Russia.
Oh, dude, I really don't care about like people.
You watch Tim Pool, don't you? Brother, everything that you have, every like thing that you have come at me
Tim
with.
Pool is like literally one of my least favorite political commentators. So you can like slam him all you want. I don't care. Like, go for it.
But you literally gave me a Benny Johnson clip. Benny Johnson was funded by Russia. So do you think that maybe your opinions have been slanted?
What was the clip that
I don't remember, but you sent me a Benny Johnson clip.
What it was literally the GoFundMe of the bitch that got her shit kicked in for no fucking reason.
No, you say no fucking reason. No. They were yelling racial epithets, and she was trying to take up for a dude who started a fight.
Well, she was fucking defending a guy that was on the ground getting his head kicked in.
Who deserved it, brother? Who deserved it? If the races were reversed, I think you would be cheering it on.
It doesn't matter. If that bitch was black and she got her shit kicked in, it's the same fucking thing.
You guys would all be sharing the clip, fucking celebrating it.
Women that did absolutely.
But because it was a white woman, you guys have got to raise money for a racist because that's what you do.
She's not a racist though. Like literally, what's racist about trying to defend?
They were yelling racial epithets at the other people.
Head bashed in. That's not anything racial.
Man.
Even if I give you the premise that the guy deserved to get his shit beat in,
he did.
Okay, well, guess what? She fucking didn't, and that's the fucking.
Why did she stick her fucking face in there?
That was posted. So literally, I don't know why you bring this guy up. That like, oh, yeah, okay, he deserved to get his shit kicked in.
You keep saying I don't know why you bring this guy up. It's what started the whole incident. It started the whole incident.
Relevant. It's not shared fucking guilt. I don't know if do you actually that's probably a good question. Do you agree with, or do you like, is that a thing for you? Do you agree with shared guilt?
What does that even mean?
If you're dating someone and the someone does something bad, should you also be punished?
I don't know what that means.
Okay.
When you say shared, you're talking about like white guilt, and that's something like fucking.
I'm literally saying,
brother, let me fucking speak.
She's trying to help him up, and then she gets clacked, smashed her head into the fucking pavement, and you're like, she was defending that guy. She deserved it.
I mean, there was a fight going on. She stuck her neck out.
Break up the fight, and
I don't understand. Like, you keep going back to, you keep talking about this fucking fight. People are being prosecuted. Why do you let right-wing... This is an example of right-wing media taking something and blowing it out of proportion and sensationalizing it to you and getting you emotional about it. Why do you let them play you like this?
Why does the video exist? Why is there actually multiple angles of the incident and only one person that called 911?
I don't okay, one, that's called the bystander effect, man. You can look up the study they did on it. A woman got stabbed in New York and she screamed for help. Nobody called 911 because everybody thought somebody else was calling 911 because there was a bunch of people that witnessed it.
Everyone else was recording it on their phone.
But this was before phones, man. Like, buddy, you're dumb. You have no critical thinking skills. I'm trying to help you. This is a thing. It's a documented effect. Because if a lot of people witness something, I'm explaining it to you.
No, I agree.
If a lot of people witness something, they think everybody else has called 911, so nobody calls 911. Well established.
Her getting $100,000+ is that a problem for you?
I don't understand why anybody would give her money.
Because she was the victim of a violent crime that she had no reason to be victimized.
She can go to civil court and sue somebody if she was. It's like, I don't understand.
Well, the community has come together and we've decided this lady didn't deserve to get her shit peed in, so we're helping.
Because right-wing media made a issue of it.
Yeah, it's like the white George Floyd almost, but you know, like not ODing on fentanyl.
But he didn't OD on fentanyl.
Yeah, he just had a bunch of.
The autopsy report says he was choked the fuck out by the
with
cops.
his saliva on it and shit, and you know, he was just saying, "Oh, I can't fucking breathe. I can't fucking breathe." Before he was ever even on the fucking ground.
Do you listen to yourself?
Strange, you know?
Like right-wing media has warped your fucking brain, man.
No, I listened to left-wing media about it. I bought the 8 minutes of him choking and dying on the ground.
You could see it.
Body cam comes.
What do you mean buy it? You could watch it.
Can't breathe before he's ever even on the ground. That doesn't make sense.
He was having a panic attack, man.
Okay, so then the whole I can't breathe when he's also on the ground doesn't really make sense or matter to me at that point because he's not saying that because
the autopsy report said that he was choked the fuck out by the cops
because he can't fucking breathe because he's having a panic attack.
The autopsy report says he was choked out by the fucking cops. Plain and simple, cut and dry.
Came out and they kind of covered that up because it was convenient to the narrative.
Nothing. Dude, what are you talking about? You're the one that has a narrative, dude.
No, I'm saying that the narrative had already been built up around the country. There was already a lot of bullshit going on.
No, brother. No, brother.
On the local level. You can look
our cops. Our cops shoot more white people than they do black people. Did you know that?
Yeah, I think like
it's disproportionate. It's disproportionate based on the percentage of populations.
And he's in prison not because he did anything, but because he held people back.
What?
One of the officers that is currently in prison because of the George Floyd incident was Asian, and he did not help George Floyd die. All he did was hold people back.
He didn't render aid to somebody that he saw dying. He didn't prevent the cop from doing the crime that he witnessed. You understand that, right?
Yeah, I believe that.
If you're a cop and you're witnessing a crime and you do nothing to stop it, you should be held accountable, right?
Yeah, that's the logic that they prosecuted him under. Yes.
Logic they prosecuted him under. What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
I'm saying that's what they said.
You have a narrative. You have decided that George Floyd deserved to die that day.
No, I don't.
You came to that conclusion, and you are working backwards from it.
Different from that. My conclusion is that he is a victim of the war on drugs. Had he not been pulled over by those police, I doubt he would have tried to eat all those drugs like he did on a previous arrest.
I don't even know that he ate drugs, man. They found like trace amounts of fentanyl in his system.
Right?
Brother, once again, dude, the drugs had nothing to do with it. He died from being...
Then why were the drugs there?
He died from being strangled by the cops. That's what the autopsy found.
So the drugs didn't matter, but they caused him to have the panic attack.
No, the drug... Brother!
The police officers drag him out of the car and put him on the ground.
For the love of God, man, once again, autopsy report, he was choked out by the cops. That's the fact.
Yes,
you don't get to go and construct another narrative. That's you constructing a narrative.
I very much can if the evidence...
No, because you don't want to accept the facts.
No, I can accept facts.
I explained this to you on Twitter.
And brought in my...
Brother. It's called cognitive dissonance. You can't accept something that goes against your already held belief.
I can, but at the same time, that's literally what I've done because I had the preconceived notion that he was murdered by police.
He was.
New evidence.
The autopsy says that he was murdered by the cops.
In this case, that I think.
Holy shit, dude! No, hold on. Let me talk. For the love of God, the idea that he OD'd came from right-wing media. The autopsy report says that he was murdered by the cops. The trial found that he was murdered by the cops. You have listened to... Brother, can you let me fucking talk? You fucking jackass.
Police car with his saliva on that. What's the thing?
I have no idea what you're talking about. And once again, red herring. Brother, red herring fallacy. I am telling you, the autopsy found that...
It's fucking a guy that died and like people die of overdoses from drugs. So
once again, autopsy report says that he was murdered by the cops. The courts found, a jury found, that he was murdered by the cops. You don't get to go and construct another narrative.
Gotten anything wrong?
What evidence do I have that they got anything wrong? Because you listened to a Rumble video.
That's actually not. I didn't say
That is exactly what happened. You let right-wing media convince you that he wasn't murdered by the cops when all the evidence points to that's what happened.
Well, actually, not all the evidence points to that. Like
it all does.
That I pointed out that you kind of just brushed aside.
Brother, red herring has nothing to do. The autopsy report found that he was murdered by the cops.
Context and evidence.
Yes. Do you think you know more? Do you think you know more than the jury that heard the case?
Not necessarily.
This is my point. You don't have enough information to make an informed decision. You don't know more than the jury.
I don't necessarily know if that's true. Plus, there's...
You do know. I know for a fact it's true.
It's very possible that...
No, it is absolutely the truth.
That I had access to that they didn't. That's also possible, right?
Well, if there's a reason it wasn't admissible in court, there's a reason why a judge decided it shouldn't be admissible in court. Because it would taint the jury.
Things based off of partisan reasons, right?
No, you interpret judges' decisions based on partisanship. Like, you don't realize you're the one that's biased.
People are partisan. That's what I'm saying. I think a lot of... Like an example, the job numbers. Do you think that lady was completely nonpartisan?
Yeah.
Do you think that...
I have no reason to believe that she wasn't. Why do you believe that... Do you believe that she was partisan and Trump wasn't?
Let me ask you a separate question. Completely separate question. Do you agree with the statement that there are lies, damn lies, and statistics?
I have no idea what you're trying to say.
It means...
Do you agree? And that's a right-wing thing that you guys do. Like, you're like, do you agree with this statement? Like, no, I don't.
No, I'm just trying to figure out where you're at, dude. That's all I'm trying to do.
I try to argue facts, and you're very emotional, and you are ignorant of a lot of things, and you have no critical thinking skills, as I keep pointing out.
To figure out your critical thinking skill level. So literally,
I have a degree in political philosophy. I had to take classes like symbolic logic and practical reasoning. That's why I have critical thinking skills. Remember, I asked you your credentials. Do you have
a sociology class? And I wrote a 25-page paper on happiness and altruism.
Okay, and?
So...
But you don't know what a fucking logical fallacy is, eh?
A little bit about statistical analysis.
You don't know fucking shit, dude, because you wrote a fucking paper. Seriously. Yeah, that's what every dumbass says. They manipulate statistics. Brother, you just can't accept facts. Over and over again, you can't accept facts.
No, that's literally, I'm asking you a question if you can manipulate statistics. And
I don't know what you mean by that.
Can I present numbers in a way where they say a specific thing that's not necessarily true?
Oh, sure, there are all kinds of biases that you can use and sampling biases.
I'll give you an example.
Fucking, there are names for those things.
Feminism pops up, the crime rate increases.
What?
It's a fact because, you know, feminists, like, they
Brother, when ice cream sales go up, crime increases. Do you think ice cream causes crime?
In that, there's more crime. Like,
you know what?
You lower the standard of what rape is, you lower the standard of what sexual assault is, and then suddenly there's a lot more rape, there's a lot more sexual assault. That's like an example of what I'm saying.
But that's not lying, and that's not manipulating statistics
You're right.
or anything.
It's not lying. It's using statistics to push your narrative, because, yeah.
You're the one with a narrative, dude. I don't know what you keep talking about.
Has a narrative. That's my point. I'm saying...
Brother, I don't.
To a degree.
I just want to see people have higher wages and health care and shit. And you want to argue about racism and because you are letting fucking right-wing
higher wages.
God damn, dude.
California, they recently did a $20 an hour minimum wage. Are you for or against?
Been a total success. All studies show that raising the minimum wage actually benefits companies.
Okay. That's fantastic. Well,
it results in higher productivity from workers. It results in a better customer experience.
Are you okay with the trade-offs that go along with that, though?
What are the trade-offs?
People got fired. A lot of businesses shut down.
Once again, all studies show that worker productivity increases, that customer satisfaction increases, and that it's actually a boom for business to raise wages.
Do you know why it increases, though? It's because they fired...
Man, because if you fucking increase somebody's wage, they're a fucking happier worker.
The work that they were doing, as well as now they have the
No. That is fucking billionaire propaganda that you're putting out. Once again, all studies show that you may eliminate a couple of part-time workers, but your full-time workers are going to be way more productive. They're going to be way happier, and your customer experience is going to be better. So why would you be against fucking? You don't want to make more money? Why do you simp for fucking billionaires?
People making more money, but when 18,000 people lose their jobs,
18,000 people didn't lose their jobs.
Look at that as like, oh, that's a trade-off. Yay, they're making...
Brother, 18,000 people didn't lose their jobs.
18,000 people lost their job in California because we raised the minimum wage.
No, they didn't.
To $20 an hour.
You just pulled that fucking out of your ass, man. That didn't happen. Like, I don't, like, let me tell you this. Did you know that in the poorest state in this country, it takes $15 an hour? Hey, let me talk. In the poorest state in this country, it takes $15 an hour minimum to be able to live. So if a company is not paying you $15 an hour, they're wanting you to subsidize their billion-dollar business. Why would you be for that?
I'm not for people taking low-wage jobs. If you're worth more, get a better job.
There's not just get a better job. What we live in a...
It literally is, though. Like,
no, it's not.
No, this is my view of minimum wage. Minimum wage is to state that this is the minimum that you're allowed to pay someone, even if they're worth less.
Nobody is worth less, man. Nobody is worth less. Everybody is worth at least $15 an hour.
Less than this.
Nobody is worth less. Why would you tell me that somebody is worth less than something that you could be able to live on? If you can't buy food and housing. No, they're not. What kind of a piece of shit are you? You're telling me that if somebody is...
When I was in high school, I don't need to survive.
Buddy, there's not fucking high schoolers out here working at McDonald's and shit.
Bro, I worked in fast food as a high schooler.
And you worked with plenty of people that were supporting fucking families too.
Yes, and I'm sure there's like a variant of wage, and I don't know necessarily, but some...
Brother, you don't live in the real world. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Then after schooling, I imagine they don't want to stay at McDonald's. Maybe they do long term. Maybe they love McDonald's and they just want to suck the clown's cock.
Brother, any job that is paying you less than $15 an hour is asking you to subsidize them. So why wouldn't we raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You can, but then a lot of people are going to get fired. Like I posted the link.
No, they won't. You're telling me these billion-dollar companies have to fire people.
Yes, they would much rather install an iPad.
Seriously, man.
Smaller businesses that...
What do you do for a living? What do you do for a living? What do you do for a living?
I work in logistics.
So you've never had to lift a finger in your fucking life, man. You've never actually been out here. You've never been on a fucking line. You've never moved boxes and shit. You're some fucking nerdy ass pencil pusher.
I've worked as a dishwasher. I've worked as a landscaper. I've worked plenty of low scale.
And you're in your 20s too, aren't you?
Cleaner for 2 years. So
you're in your 20s, aren't you?
I've been a busser.
And your fucking parents were affluent, weren't they?
No, they're middle class.
No, they're affluent. They were. Well, they had enough to take care of you, didn't they?
Yeah, I was.
Yep. I can tell by the way you talk, you piece of shit.
Yeah, my mother was a teacher. I have good speaking skills to a degree.
No, I'm talking about, I can tell that you've always had your parents to fall back on because you don't know how the real world works.
I don't currently have my parents to fall back on at all, nor
I don't believe you at all.
Like,
all.
I've had to build everything that I have currently.
No, you didn't.
By myself.
No, you didn't. No, I find that laughable.
He gave me his vehicle, so I did get that. I did get that.
I find that fucking laughable, dude. You don't realize the privilege that you come from and the situation that other people are facing out here. And it is infuriating.
Insane privilege.
And you let right-wing fucking media warp your fucking brain.
Literally, for being a middle-class American, I'm in the top 1% of the world. I understand that. And you being an American also share that privilege to a degree, just not the middle-class part, I guess.
Oh man, judgment on you, right?
Yeah, I'm affluent. Oh well, okay.
Yeah, brother, I'm from the coal mines of Eastern Kentucky. We were exploited.
Are you familiar at all with the Drunken Peasant podcast?
I am not familiar with any fucking grifters on the internet.
No, they're not grifters. They're like they're very, very your speed. I used to watch them a lot.
You don't know what my speed is, motherfucker. You don't know jack shit about me.
Smoke weed and you talk on the internet. That's what they did.
You don't know shit about me. Go ahead and fucking say that. Just like you don't know fucking shit about foreign policy, you don't know shit about me. Go ahead, promote some other fucking podcast on my show.
No,
I fucking love it when people do that shit. Why don't you tell my chat to go watch Hassan while you're at it?
Hassan's pretty cool. I don't know.
No, he's not. Jesus.
But
brother, you're all feelings. You don't know jack about fuck. You work in logistics. How is Trump working out for you, my friend?
It's working fine. Do you want to talk about tariffs or something else?
Well, I mean, like, if you're in logistics, that means you do shipping and stuff. You've seen a decline, right?
Nope. I've seen lots of increase. I have not seen much of a slowdown at all. In fact, it seems like stuff's really picking up pace.
That's insane because the data says the exact opposite.
Okay, and?
I have no idea.
I'm seeing on the ground, like, I'm not getting hours cut. I'm getting like mandatory extra time. I don't know what to tell you.
All the data says the opposite. That ports are seeing a 50-60% decrease. Huh?
If I get fired, I'll let you know, but like currently, like it seems like they really need me. Like that's a lot of work.
Whatever, man. Like the fucking jobs numbers came out and like our economy is contracting.
That's why I asked you about statistics earlier.
Layoffs all over the place. Well, man, like why would I don't understand. Like, why would I think that she manipulated statistics to hurt Trump?
Those numbers, especially.
Why would you trust Trump? You're telling me that the woman at the Bureau of Labor and Statistics is political, but Trump isn't.
I'm telling you that I haven't trusted those numbers since a little bit after 2019.
Who are you to say whether you can trust the Bureau of Labor Statistics?
I look at the numbers, dude, and then when they revise them down...
Buddy, they revise them down all the time.
For like the last 4 years.
Hey, dude, I have been in the news business for almost 30 years. I have seen no difference in the way the numbers are reported. They're always revised down. Or revised up sometimes.
Recently... much more so to the point
8 times last year they were revised down leading into the election. 8 times.
Yes.
They were revised up 12 times under Trump in his first administration. But you're telling me this woman is being playing politics.
In 2019, a lot of the I don't know what system they were using or whether they changed the
You don't know shit, brother. Just stop it. I don't know.
A lot of the a lot of the
because it's your feelings. You're telling me your feelings.
Released. I started to trust the numbers coming out of China to the same degree as the numbers coming from the U.S. government about our jobs.
You realize you sound like a moron, right?
No, I'm just saying I don't trust those numbers when they started to get really funky around 2019. That's what I'm saying.
Numbers get funky around 2019. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm saying I think they changed something in the methodology around that time, and whether
based on what?
Whether they're continuing to tweak it, I guess we'll find out, because they're going to change the person in charge of it, and either they're going to look at what they're doing and change it, or they're not going to have any actual position to change the numbers, and they're just going to release them just like the lady did before.
And you think that Trump doing this isn't a chilling effect to try to get somebody to cook the books?
Well, like I said, either she had the ability to cook the books and possibly
she didn't.
And then the next person can do
Before you got on here, we just listened to an economist. We just listened to an economist talk about how they did not have the ability to cook the books.
Figurehead that doesn't have the ability to cook the books doesn't matter, because you're just swapping the figurehead, right?
But why would you fire somebody when they didn't do anything just because it makes fucking President Dumbbaby feel good?
Accurate or not, as a partisan hack.
Why do you keep calling people partisan hacks without realizing you're the partisan hack?
That's the view from Trump. That's
you are the partisan hack.
You just asked me.
Trump is the partisan hack.
Okay, well then he views anyone that's not partisan in his favor as a partisan hack. And
yes, yes, and that's bad.
Okay.
That is bad for institutional knowledge. That is how we get rid of people that are good at their jobs and get people that are sycophants at their jobs.
But then that just means that the next Democrat can come in and swap them out again.
No, because Democrats are feckless, and Democrats don't do the fucking shit Republicans do.
I mean, they're doing it in California. Back to the
I'm glad they're doing it. They're doing it in response to the Republicans in Texas.
But I just thought you said they were ballless and they don't do anything.
They don't. I mean,
it?
thank God they're doing that, but like that's not a good example of like the Democrats are wanting to fight and shit. I mean, fuck. They're attacking their own nominee in New York City.
Okay, so do you know why they're attacking him though, right?
Because they're in the pockets of capital.
Well, yeah, to a large degree, but also simply because while he does like all the stuff that he's doing messaging wise works really, really well in New York, if he actually wins like on a more national like scale or
that is the message that's going to resonate all over the fucking country, brother.
Unpopular and
no,
but it is. And
no, that is the winning message across this country. That's the Bernie Sanders message that you said you were for in 2016, and you're telling me it's unpopular. Seriously, dude, you're an idiot.
No, I said specifically
you're an idiot.
New York.
You're an idiot.
Populist. No, I mean literally. I'm saying something that makes sense.
No, you're not, because you've proven your own fucking assertion wrong. Because you said you were part of the Bernie movement.
Can I just get this out real quick? In more like city-centric areas, that kind of messaging is very popular.
It's popular all over the country. Bernie Sanders is drawing thousands and thousands of people in red districts on his Fight the Oligarchy tour.
Then I will just simply say this.
That you're dumb and you don't know what you're talking about. I'm once again, I'm begging you, stop having opinions on shit you know nothing about. Begging you, brother. And stop listening to Rumble. Stop listening to podcasts. Stop listening to grifters on the internet.
You're saying I'm wrong. What should I listen to?
Fucking don't fucking watch cooking shows. Watch fucking wrestling.
Doing pre-2016, and then I got into politics, and then
don't get into politics. You don't have critical thinking skills. You don't know enough about politics. Turn politics off. You don't know how to discern credible sources. Watch wrestling. Watch cooking shows. Watch cat videos. Please, brother.
See, the thing is
Go and vote. Please vote. But like, if you turn off the right-wing propaganda,
I'll give you an example.
goddamn, dude.
Example of why I have to be involved in politics. I used to like just playing Call of Duty. I used to like just getting on the internet, saying a couple slurs. Now I can't even do that.
Saying a couple slurs.
No, literally Call of Duty has like a filter where they literally now like track everything you say and will literally ban you for like.
Well, that's capitalism, man, because if people don't want to play their game if they're getting called slurs all the time.
Culture is like a lot of this stuff is well, that's how
it's capitalism. It is capitalism. They want you to spend more time on their game and make more money, so they have to sanitize everything. You're upset about capitalism.
Buy another copy too.
Brother, everything in your life that you're upset about is capitalism. Every single thing.
Yes, and how do you bully the capitalists with politics?
Yeah, not by electing a billionaire pedophile to keep him out of prison.
Okay, well, if it makes you feel any better, I didn't vote for Trump in 2024.
Good? Okay. Do you want a fucking cookie?
Did you vote in 2024?
Yes.
Well, who for?
I voted for Harris.
What was your reasoning for doing so? Just curious. Just as like you liked her stuff, or you just hated Trump?
Well, do you even know what Harris's policies were?
To a degree, but like.
No, you don't, do you? You don't. No, it was like 10 grand. It was like 10 grand towards small business, 25 grand grant for first-time home buyers. Guess what I am? I'm a small business owner that's looking to buy a house. So yeah, I kind of was really into her policies.
You're like, oh man, give me that.
She proposed universal child care. That's what I need, right? Support for small business and home ownership.
Yeah, and then I guess Trump was more like, hey, we're gonna do like.
Trump was like, I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna fucking.
No tax on tips, no tax on overtime.
Yeah, that didn't happen, did it? Oh shit, that didn't happen because he lied about that.
Overtime.
And the no tax on tips was just a giveaway to Wall Street, so that they could call their fees tips.
That's not accurate. They don't qualify. There's actually like qualifications that you need.
Well, it never, brother, it never happened. It never happened. There was never a proposal, so.
The big beautiful bill passed. What are you talking about?
It's not in that. There's no the tax on tips thing is not in the big beautiful bill.
Tips, but the overtime is, and it's up to.
I don't think the overtime is either.
Amount. It is. You can look it up.
I don't think so.
It is. There's a lot in that bill. I know a lot of people didn't read it, but they actually read it in the House.
Buddy, you didn't fucking read it. Shut the fuck up.
Bro, I watched the video where they read it on.
You watched Rumble. You watched a fucking idiot fucking describe it.
Literally the freaking House floor. I can link it to you. It's like 12 hours.
Brother, shut the fuck up. You did not I actually did watch it. My stream can fucking tell you that.
I did it on ×2 speed.
Oh my god. Brother, I can't with you, man. Like, you're all feels. Please turn off the Rumble. Go get another hobby. Please. For the love of God. Go watch. You came from like that Sadie girl in Pentuple, right? Go watch me destroy Pentuple.
I don't watch Pentuple, honestly. I just.
Hey, good, because he's fucking stupid and I destroyed him.
You should link me that. I'll watch it later.
JustinFREAKIN Pentuple. You'll find it. All right, I'm gonna get back to the news because man, you're exhausting.
Oh yeah, it was nice talking to you.
No, it was not nice talking to you, man. You're a fucking brick wall.
No, I know, and you're just as equally obtuse.
I'm not. I'm not. I present you with facts, and you can't accept them. You go off on other shit that's...
So what exactly is that that's a fact? Like, that's not a fact. That's literally someone writing their opinion of like, oh, I think them switching the prosecutor actually puts more...
He's the guy... I am...
consequences.
The guy that I cited... The guy that I cited was the guy that wrote the story about Burisma. He's the one... He's the only reason you know the word Burisma, okay?
No, the reason we know Burisma...
Because of his reporting.
Was on...
Because of his reporting.
And did the video...
Because of his reporting, dude. It was his story.
He posted the video clip that then Trump started to investigate Biden?
No, brother. No, you don't understand. That was stated EU-US policy. Joe Biden wasn't trying to help his kid. I showed you the story. The guy who wrote about Burisma.
Stated by whom? Who's U.S.?
The U.S. and the EU. Man, you don't know what you're talking about, and it's infuriating. Because then I have to spend so much time. And then you won't...
policy after the fact?
No. When he said that about getting the prosecutor fired, it was stated U.S. policy at the time. This is the guy that wrote the story about Burisma, saying that they were trying to get the prosecutor fired because of corruption, that it would increase the chances that Hunter Biden and Burisma would face legal troubles, not lessen it. You got the backwards...
I'm not saying that Obama didn't go along with it, which would make it technically U.S. official policy.
No, it was stated U.S. policy before that clip. It was EU policy. They felt that there was corruption from Russia, that prosecutor was bought off.
Was digging into that company, correct?
No, he was not investigating the Burisma.
So then why...
They wanted to get him fired because he wasn't investigating into Burisma.
So then why... Okay, the Victor Shokin shit. Do you know about that, or can you explain?
I don't care. I'm showing you. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I'm showing you the facts, and you're wanting to talk about other things. Red herring, man. I keep telling you about red herring. I try to... God damn it. Will you shut the fuck up? Please shut the fuck up. Please shut the fuck up. I'm explaining to you why you're wrong.
No,
stop going.
Respond to what I'm saying. I want you to respond to my red herring. I don't give a fuck what it. Fallacy.
Why would I respond to fallacious reasoning? There's a reason it's fallacious. That's why you're exhausting, man. Oh.
Why is the reasoning wrong? Explain it to me.
It's fallacious. It has nothing to do with the point that we're talking about.
It very much does.
It does not.
Huge, terrible lighting on the whole thing.
No, it doesn't. Your opinion comes from right-wing propaganda, dude.
Bro,
you know nothing about the situation.
Coming back is not right-wing propaganda. It's literally facts.
You heard that from a fucking Rumble podcast or somebody. I know you did. So stop it, man. Stop acting like you know anything about this situation. Yeah, you admit it now. You heard about it on right-wing propaganda, which has a narrative that it's trying to spin.
That's not true. It's also true. You can say something on the internet.
I don't care. Victor Shogun, whoever the other dude you brought, I don't care. The facts are as I'm laying them out for you right here.
No, you're literally swallowing the narrative, hook, line, and sinker.
It's not a narrative, man. This is the dude.
You question it because if you look outside of
brother, shut up for a second.
You're just falling for.
Shut up. The dude that actually did the investigation into Burisma says right-wing media, where you got your bullshit from, has twisted his reporting. He's the one that did the reporting. You can go back and read his original piece, which has all the documents in it. You didn't do that. Do you understand? The dude that did the reporting is saying you're wrong.
Yes.
It's his story. His story. And he said you have it wrong. And you can't fucking get off the fact.
Back it up with facts, cool, but like if there's facts.
He's the one that wrote the story.
Then
he's the one that wrote the story, dude. It's
It's
his reporting. If he says you got his reporting wrong, why would you not believe that?
I'm saying his reporting is wrong. I'm saying he is wrong.
But you wouldn't even know the story if it wasn't for him. So why would you not listen to him?
Actually, that's not true because people are.
It is true. He's the source. People on Rumble. People on Rumble only know about it because of him. Oh my God.
Literally.
Holy shit.
You would know about it.
You would not know about it. Fuck, dude.
Yes, I would. I could never.
No, you wouldn't.
I would still know about it.
This is the dude that wrote the story about Burisma. How would you know about it if he never wrote the fucking story?
Because it was a very large mainstream thing that we had.
Because of him! Him! He's the reason! And it wasn't a large mainstream thing. You did not read the story. It's like he said, 4 years passed and nobody said anything about it. And now all of a sudden it's a hot button issue. You did not even read his article about how you got it wrong. The one I linked to you. You wanted me to watch a 2-hour buddy, shut the fuck up. I'm gotta cut you off. You will not let me fucking talk. Jesus Christ. You don't listen. You don't listen. This is the guy that wrote the story. You would not know about Burisma. Nobody on Rumble would know about Burisma if it wasn't for him. He's the one that did all the reporting on Hunter Biden. And he even wrote about how it appeared that it was a corrupt thing, him being on the board of directors. You can go back, read the original New York Times article. Stop getting your information from right-wing propaganda. People on Rumble have a vested interest to lie to you, to keep you upset about shit you don't know anything about, because then you keep clicking on it. They keep you outraged. Brother, you have no critical thinking skills. And it is fucking annoying. I know, T-minus. I'm a proponent that we should be teaching logic in high school, because you usually get it in college, and a lot of people don't ever go to college, or they don't take practical reasoning classes when they get there. I want you to address my red herring, which has nothing to do with the facts as we know them. I just want to go off on this tangent. That's what a red herring is. That's why it's fallacious. Let me bring up the definition here. A red herring is something that misleads or distracts from a relevant or important question. Unlike the straw man, which involves a distortion of the other party's position, the red herring is a seemingly plausible, though ultimately irrelevant, diversionary tactic. A red herring may be intentional or unintentional. I think it was unintentional on your part. It may not necessarily be a conscious intent to mislead. I absolutely think that it was not a conscious intention to mislead. You just don't understand critical thinking. And it gives me a headache to constantly have to go down all these rabbit holes with you people. It's like the dude you posted in my Discord. Like, he made the statement that the entire MAGA movement was censored in 2020. That's absurd. That just statement is absurd on its face. And, like, why would I listen to somebody that makes such an absurd statement to begin with? Fuck. I gotta refill my drink. Go ahead, light one up, tip one back. It's alright to have a little fun before you hit the sack. I'm JustinFREAKIN.
All we're establishing is this guy's wicked sick aesthetic. Not high enough for this shit.
I guess I gotta thank Matt Walsh for introducing me to JustinFREAKIN.
Hey there, y'all. We're about to get stupid, locked into what that news beat doing. Fu Manchu and a slick bandana, colder than ice, smoother than Santana. Audio, video, chat and calls. Right-wing nut jobs haunt the halls. What you wanna watch? Hey, what you thinking? There's only one choice. It's JustinFREAKIN.
The guy's, he's a formidable voice in the call.
Light one up and tip one back. It's a right to be high. Let's grab a snack. It's fucking news, quick panic attack, and play your cards right and get a titty slap. Jump in Discord, have some fun. The man will talk to everyone. Get high and try to debate. When shit pops off, chat thinks it's great. What do you think you're doing? Join the troll patrol. Wherever discourse is brewing, he gives it that southern drawl.
So let's go ahead and bring in Justin. Hey Justin, how's it going, brother?
First of all, I want to say you're poser South. I'm in Alabama. I'm the real South.
Okay, all right. So why don't you tell us what it takes to be a man?
Well, I don't know. I'm in Alabama and I'll fuck a man in a dress. Why won't you fuck a man in a dress? Are you that insecure that you won't fuck a man in a dress?
That's fantastic. So you're okay with that, right?
Yeah. Why wouldn't I?
Good.
Right-wingers are morons.
Like one hit and hit one back. One more click before we hit the set an alert when that shit goes live. Social fucking support and hit subscribe. Light one up and take a hit. He does no harm, but it takes no shit. He's the last one standing when the ship is sinking. Let's take another rip for JustinFREAKIN.
Light one up, tip one back. I'm JustinFREAKIN.
Not high enough for this shit.
And I hope you're still watching. Okay, so the why did Victor Shogun or whatever, if you've got a question like that, don't just believe some right-winger that's telling you, well, why did blah, blah, blah did this if it's not for Fucking look it up, dude. You know what? The other day, somebody almost got me believing the moon landing was fake because they were like, the president called the spaceship. How did he call the spaceship? They don't have phone lines on the moon. And I'm like, Jesus. That's a really good point. They don't have phone lines on the moon. How'd the president call the fucking moon landing? The answer is, and I looked it up because when you hear a question that sounds like, why is that? Don't fucking let your mind fill in the gaps. Look it up. The answer is they patched the call into the fucking comms on the ship. So he was like calling NASA ground control and they were patching it through into the comms. But like if I hadn't, looked up the very, rational, there's the other one like, oh, there's not boot marks on the moon. They had like booties over their boots. That's why there's no boot marks on the like. There's simple answers to things. You just look them up. So if you hear a claim that sounds too good to be true, like, oh, well, Victor Shogun did blah, 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 and why would he do? Look it up. There's a rational answer. Critical thinking skills. I'm dying. I'm begging people. Get them. Everything you told me, bro, was about your feelings. After 2016, you felt like Bernie Sanders got screwed over. So somehow that's a reason to abandon popular politics that makes us all better off and to go right-wing nut job. He said he didn't vote for Trump in 2024. I assume he voted in 2020. Suncats, welcome in. Parkourse, my friend. Who else stuck in here on me? Objectively. Ducky, I don't know if I told you good evening. Clinically. Byronic. Big Ben. It was... Oof. And it's... What should I watch? Not politics. I don't watch politics when I'm not doing this. It's bad for your mental health. Watch some cooking shows. Leslie! Watch some cooking shows. Watch wrestling. Watch NASCAR. Watch anything else. Don't subject yourself to this shit. And also, I get called a hypocrite because I do this, but like, please call me out if I'm wrong about anything. I'm not out here trying to confirm an audience's biases in order to make money. Because fuck, if I wanted to make money, I could do this many other ways besides the way I'm doing it. Light one up, tip one back. You guys heard the lady on the video. I mean, it's my degrees in this shit. I fucking love it, but man, it is... It's a chore. It's a chore at the moment. And I'm playing video games. I'm watching TV shows or watching concerts and shit. Let's go to this MSNBC piece. We were covering Ghislaine being moved. Lenny, welcome. Glad you are back home in Boston. Ghislaine moved to a minimum security prison. Fox apparently had a Trump Epstein bomb explode.
The new letters coming out from the victims of sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein, who are concerned in a different way than so many people who view this case as a political controversy or online content or many of the other ways that it has mushroomed. These are the people who live.
We haven't watched an Ari Melbourne clip in quite some time. How many rap songs is he going to reference in this one? 4. I put it at 4.
Through it, the victims and their families. And they say the Trump Justice Department is putting convicted pedophiles and sex traffickers above the victims. We're going to start right here, and I'm just going to read to you what they're saying. Quote, I feel like the DOJ and FBI priority is protecting the third party, the wealthy men, focusing on scrubbing their names off the files. That's a reference to the reporting about the benefits Donald Trump himself and others may have gotten, of which the victims know who they are. They continue, quote, to learn that our own president has utilized thousands of agents to protect his identity. And these high-profile individuals is monumentally mind-blowing. That's their focus. Wow. The reports are how Donald Trump famously put Epstein conspiracy theorists and other sort of podcasters in charge of the FBI. And remember, the reporting is they spent a lot of time and energy going through the material. And while some of them may have said or claimed they wanted to do that to then release it, remember, nothing's been released. That's why he's accused of a cover-up. But we do have reporting that they also used that time to shield various names. So remember, if you're keeping track of what has been a sordid political story, a lot of the people who claim to care about this story for justice, to go after bad guys like Epstein and his conspirator Maxwell, are now aligned with a government that's doing the opposite, shielding people, giving more secrecy to Maxwell and of course, the deceased Epstein.
That one dude was really tall.
The information could still come out and matter to people. And on top of
who was that really tall guy?
Going into the weekend gave leniency to the only incarcerated conspirator. Now the issue's snowballing, and I want to show you a way that it has affected Donald Trump, who is, if nothing else, very conscious and sometimes skilled at PR. He understands the difference between noise and language, wherever it may be in our world, and things that go to the heart of his political base, which he has always kept an eye on. So imagine his concern when someone who's been outspoken in many venues, Charlemagne the God, he's a popular radio host, he interviewed Harris, he's taken on more of a political role over the years.
He hosted the
as a New York music radio host, but he also has
Daily Show last week, didn't he?
He's been on MSNBC. He is someone who goes and talks to all kinds of people. And that may be because a lot of people have seen his voice as important. Clearly Fox News and Donald Trump do, which is the story I'm
glad I wasn't the only one tripped out by how tall that guy was.
So he is,
yeah, because Trump's not short.
His credibility, but to the MAGA audience, making headlines, calling out what he sees as a Republican coup in the making over the Epstein issue, which led to a Trump backlash.
I think there's a political coup going on right now in the Republican Party that people aren't paying attention to.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I think that this Epstein thing is going to be a way for traditional conservatives to take their party back. This is the issue that has gotten the base riled up. The MAGA base isn't letting this issue go, and for the first time, they know they can, probably take their party back and not piss off.
Yeah, I feel like he doesn't know jack about fuck, to be honest with you. I've seen very little of him, though.
The MAGA base. I think they're going to do that.
That's Charlemagne's take. As for who's getting pissed off, well, the president certainly was. He wrote a lengthy diatribe with plenty of personal attacks, going after Charlemagne, calling him names, saying he doesn't know anything about Trump. But the problem goes deeper than just a messenger, so to speak, referring to real evidence out there in a venue that clearly bothered Trump, the Trump hour of Fox there. The wider swath of voters are also concerned. There's new polling out today. 70% of Americans think that there is a client list, and while there may not be, the DOJ claims there isn't. That comes after a long time where Bondi and others literally told everyone there was. More than 60% see Trump as hiding information. That's true. That's the secrecy we've been reporting on. And a whopping 81% blame Trump for the way that the administration or others are hiding the info. In other words, the dance that we hear politicians sometimes do apparently isn't working on most of the public. 81% includes a heck of a lot of Trump voters. Top Republicans are also concerned about that story going into the weekend, where this administration, which rode a wave of outrage over Epstein, is now giving leniency to his only incarcerated conspirator, Maxwell. So she was moved to that minimum security prison. Epstein victims were outraged. Why, of anyone in the entire prison system, in their view, should this convicted sex trafficker who worked with Epstein get leniency right now, get a nicer prison environment, which, by the way, if you're a prisoner, that's one of the biggest major changes in your life you can get other than getting sprung out, is getting to a better, sometimes safer prison. She got to
totally agreed, Flash. The client list isn't a list per se.
Convicted of her crimes shouldn't even be allowed to be it.
Just his contacts.
Suspicious. Now, Republican senators who famously go along with just about everything Trump does, including things that they had previously opposed, say this whole Maxwell thing has gone far enough. They are publicly urging Trump not to pardon her. To even have that conversation is a type of indictment. Think about the ethics of pardoning a convicted sex trafficker if there's no new evidence or substantive reason. Trump is not ruling it out, which is why they are warning in public. And so the Epstein panic, from the substance, what I read to you from the victims and their families, to the politics, Charlemagne and the polling, to the ethics, again, of a world where the people who claim justice for Epstein are now aligned with a president who's helping an Epstein conspirator and sex trafficker. We turn to Michelle Goldberg, who has been reporting and writing about this for some time for the New York Times, MSNBC analyst. Your view about this story and how it continues with the substantive help to Maxwell. She's been upgraded.
It's so astonishing. And I mean, I feel like so many astonishing things happen in this rolling catastrophe of an administration.
I feel like astonishing applies good. Like, I'm astonished by, like, how beautiful this is. But, like, I'm flabbergasted.
And that we lose track of it. But
Hold on, let me get a precising definition on that.
Trump is going to blow the lid off on the Epstein conspiracy. Trump is going to both, sort of do favor.
Okay, so extremely surprising or impressive, amazing. So yes, it does imply the goodness with the term. So I don't know that astonishing is the right word.
For
but I'm just being pedantic.
And now the idea of a pardon is out there in the ether. It's really astonishing. And I think the question then becomes, first of all, why?
She did it again.
Which is, which nobody has even given the ghost of an explanation for. And then what is Trump hiding, right? Because all of this is happening when Ghislaine Maxwell, there still is a possibility that she could be subpoenaed to testify.
She said it differently. Everybody says it fucking differently. She said Ghislaine.
before Congress. So first you have Trump sending his former private attorney, now a Justice Department official, to speak to her for hours on end. Then she gets...
That means you like feet, right, Byronic?
Transfer. And again, I'm somebody who didn't necessarily think that there was something terribly incriminating about Donald Trump in these files. But he is doing his best. I mean, on the one hand, he says he wants this story to go away. He wants people to stop talking about it. But he obviously doesn't want that enough not to make, or for his administration not to make these moves that, at least on the surface, look extraordinarily incriminating.
Yeah, these are huge risks. These are very guilty-looking risks. To your point, in politics, looking guilty is bad. In law, we have a different standard, and as
he absolutely is guilty.
Somebody's referenced or caught up in a scene is not at all probative of the higher criminal standard, and he hasn't, even when he was out of power, been accused of that kind of wrongdoing, and he's famously been accused and faced prosecution for other wrongdoing. As for the so-called transparency, that's the other whole bit of it, Michelle. They have twisted themselves in knots. The victims, as I reported, are upset about it. But the government officials have twisted themselves in knots in a way that they can't hide. There were enough FBI personnel involved that people discussed it with reporters, and reporters very carefully sourced and fact-checked. Bongino famously talked about, well, if they don't release it,
Bongino
quit. Well, he hasn't quit, and they haven't released it. And it goes on in that manner, where then one of the floated things, as you know, and I'll remind viewers because there's been so many twists and turns, was, maybe they need a special counsel. You don't need a special counsel. You have all the stuff. You don't need a new way to punt it out for a year if anyone was serious about transparency. Here's what Obama's AG said about that debate right now.
So finally, you would release the files if you were Attorney General right now?
Yeah, I mean, take into account, the privacy interests of various people, certainly the victims uppermost, but there is investigative...
Who brought him on?
...be released.
Who cares?
The focus shouldn't be on grand jury material because there are a whole bunch of problems with respect to the release of grand jury materials. But with regard to investigative files that are in the possession of the Justice Department and the FBI, those materials should be released.
So what does the secrecy tell us?
Well, I mean, it's certainly not about the victims, right? And that has been their fig leaf so far. You've heard that from Kash Patel and from others, that they can't release this material because it would re-victimize these women. Now, these women are out there saying, or at least some of them, that they feel victimized by the way the administration is handling this material, and yet it's not changing the administration's approach. So I think we can rule out any concern about that from their motives. And again, we don't know what they're hiding. We only know that the indications are overwhelming that they're hiding something, and that they're willing to take significant political hits. I mean, right, the floating a pardon for Ghislaine Maxwell is crazy. It's, and it's also
absolutely crazy.
The story alive now, long after this administration has tried to put it to bed. And yet they're willing to do it. Why?
Because they're stupid. That's the best I can come up with. We got a rep at a town hall apparently responding to this question if you're going to release the Epstein files.
Why are you covering up the Epstein files?
Let's be very clear.
This is Representative Mike Flood of Nebraska.
At the next pro forma session of the Congress, you'll find my name as a sponsor on a resolution from the House Rules Committee to release the Epstein files to protect the victims and not re-victimize them again. I support Jamie Comer, who is the House's Oversight Committee Chairman, subpoenaing Ms. Maxwell later this month to come testify in Washington. I am for the release of those records.
Gretchen, it's the way he said it at the end.
Who's this dude over here?
Period after every single word. He wants to be.
Looks like he smelled a fart.
Here.
And he liked it.
Question the way he got it.
Oh, sorry. A forensics team conducted an investigation into our boy in Oklahoma. Whether he had porn on his TV in his office or not.
We're now seeing the TV in State Superintendent Ryan Walters' office and what a third-party digital forensics team found after inspecting it. This all comes after 2 state school board members insist they saw nude images of women on the TV during a meeting last week.
Those investigators say they need to look deeper into not just the TV, but also parts of the TV that they didn't get a look at.
Oh, I bet they did.
And one state lawmaker tells News 4's Spencer
we need more time with the TV.
Jump to conclusions.
There actually might be one thing everyone can agree with State Superintendent Ryan Walters about this week.
A lot of questions need to be answered.
That there's still a lot the public and lawmakers would like to know when it comes to nude images.
Gooner intended.
Members claimed they saw playing on Walters' office TV last week.
Inappropriate content on a state-issued device is certainly a serious incident.
The state's Office of Management and Enterprise Services brought in a digital forensics team whose experts got up close and personal with Walters' TV this week, trying to get to the bottom of what was playing and how it got there. In short, though, their report...
we're not shaming him for the porn. It's the location he decided to consume the porn in that is the issue.
There's just no way to know by looking only...
Well, if it's just the TV... He could have been projecting his phone. He could have been projecting his laptop, his tablet, any number of devices. Could have been a USB drive in the back of it. Could have been hooked up with an HDMI. There's a million ways. And the TV itself would show no signs of having that content on it. So a forensics team would have known that. They just fucking got paid for doing fucking nothing. Libertad, welcome in.
At the TV, saying the TV doesn't have the ability to log what someone is watching at any given time. We told you the board members claimed they saw multiple fully nude women doing something involving a chiropractic table. As for what Walters claimed to see, his answers have, well, changed. Last Friday, his spokesperson described it to the
So fully nude women with a chiropractic table. Is that like one of those, the milking porn? They're like jacking people off, like they give them happy endings at the end of a massage, but they got their tits out the whole time?
Homan as an alleged random TV cable image. 2 days later, though, Walters said, I have no knowledge of what was on the TV screen during the alleged incident. And then at a press conference Tuesday, he claimed he did know what was on.
What's being shown on all of your networks right now? That's what was shown on TV.
Except then someone asked, well, what network was it?
I don't know. I know it was cable TV that was on.
And we had another question.
Is this just a TV that somehow only can show cable TV?
We just had multiple investigations which showed none of my devices were ever connected to that TV.
So, a non-answer. But those digital forensics experts were able to get an answer. It's yes, the TV can show much more than just cable channels. In fact, they found old-style rabbit ear antennas and a DVD player were hooked up to it. They also found it's a smart TV. Able to connect to the internet, it had numerous apps downloaded capable of streaming content off the internet. They also found the TV had Apple AirPlay enabled, meaning anyone nearby with an iPhone or other Apple device would be able to connect to the TV and play something on it, as long as they had a passcode. They recommended a deeper forensic investigation, looking at more devices, interviewing more witnesses.
They recommend giving them more money.
Everyone wants.
I just want to know what happened.
Senate Education.
Can I be one of these forensic investigators?
Asked Walters about it all.
So I have communicated with him, but it was just for him to be able to explain to me, his perspective and what was going on. And
he didn't tell us what Walters said. He did tell us there's not much legislators can do until the facts are clear, and that
he was apparently in a meeting. That was the problem.
Name calling doesn't get anyone anywhere.
No, I don't think it's helpful. I think what would be most helpful is just answer the questions, provide the devices. If
that's how everybody saw it on his TV.
OMS and OSBI, and let the facts come to light.
In Oklahoma City, Spencer Humphrey, Oklahoma's News 4.
Now, as for a timeline on when the Sheriff's Office, OSBI, or OMES may finally come to a full conclusion, well, it's anybody's guess. But they all do make clear the investigation is far from over.
God damn. Oh. We're getting into the crime portion of the show tonight. We got multiple manhunts. And it's just another day. This time in Cali.
Search is on for the gunman in a deadly shooting.
I should commit some crime. Be gay, do crime.
2 people died and several others were hurt. KCAL News reporter Tina Patel is at the scene where the father of one of those victims spoke out.
Family members of one of the victims have been coming here all morning trying to get answers from police about what happened, whether their loved one was targeted, and if so, why. But police don't have many answers yet. Gregory DeRiso's family was too emotional to talk to us on camera, but they did share this photo of the 29-year-old. He's the tall one in the red hat. His father told us that Gregory lived in Koreatown with his girlfriend. He had actually talked about coming over and having dinner with his father last night, but then he decided to meet up with some friends, and that's when the shooting happened. DeRiso's friends and family don't know if someone was trying to shoot him or if he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Police say multiple people were shot. There are dozens of evidence markers here on the street. DeRiso died here. Another woman passed away at the hospital from gunshot wounds, and 6 other people were injured, some critically. Right now, police don't have any information about a suspect or suspects. They say there had been a party earlier in the night. Around 11 p.m., officers patrolling the area saw someone with a gun enter the party. So they went in, arrested that person for having a firearm, and then shut down the party. A couple hours later, around 1 a.m., is when they got the call about shots being fired.
They did disperse a crowd. It could be that some remained at scene and then the incident occurred, but we don't have that information as of yet. We don't know at this time what triggered this incident. Nevertheless, we're going to do everything possible, to make sure that this is a thorough investigation.
Detectives are talking to witnesses and looking for cameras in the area to see if that can help them piece together exactly what happened and whether this shooting was connected to the party earlier in the night. They're asking anyone with information to come forward. In downtown LA, Tina Patel, KCAL News.
Now, the only manhunt, I think I got an update on this one, actually. Let me... Also a mass shooting, I do believe. So, manhunt and mass shooting. We're going to the city of Anaconda, Montana. Anaconda, Montana.
Developing as we come on the air with our live broadcast at 6 o'clock, officials holding a press conference tonight in Anaconda on the mass shooting and the search for the suspect. We go live to NBC Montana's Josh Margolis in Anaconda with the very latest. Josh.
Yes, thank you, Laurel. So it's been 79 hours now since the mass shooting at the Owl Bar in Anaconda, just a few blocks away from the county courthouse right here, that left 4 people dead, and the manhunt is ongoing. Of course, we've told you the suspects left their the stolen vehicle and is likely, according to law enforcement, hiding out somewhere in the Pintlers. We had not received an official update all day today until about 30 minutes ago. The sheriff for Anaconda Deer Lodge County, it's a city county, Bill Sather, provided an update.
Now, our boy earlier who said that that woman didn't deserve to get beaten, you know, even though she's throwing out racial epithets and was with a dude that started a fight. Are you donating to the family of these victims? Like, they didn't deserve to be mass shot in Montana. But no, like, it's specifically the one with the racial component that the right-wing media told you to be upset about that you're donating to.
He answered 0 questions. He basically said they're working long hours and will alert people to safety threats, but that's not doing much to alleviate concerns of this community, which remains on edge here in Anaconda. As a veteran people we've talked to have told us about his mental health struggles, have said he was asking for help and he just couldn't get any, and he just went off the handle. But as for the search today, no helicopters in sight is one thing we've noticed. The Anaconda leader spoke to the chief executive here in Anaconda, Deer Lodge County. He said it's
Looks like a beautiful area.
Confined to a small area in the Pintlers. Tells the community to remain vigilant. We did hear about dirt bikes being deployed. There's been a lot of misinformation that's been proven to be false, so we ask you to trust your official news sources. We are expecting some sort of update tomorrow morning. We'll have more on that tomorrow, of course. But everyone should stay vigilant. And suspects still in the loose. There is a tip line for people that have information that could lead to the suspect, Michael Paul Brown, age 45, being found. We're going to toss it back to the studio for much more, including
this poor dude. He's so nervous.
And that tip line as well. So back to you, Laurel.
All right, thank you, Josh. And during a press conference on Sunday, Attorney General Austin Knudsen says hundreds of individuals are assisting in those search efforts. He announced a reward is being offered for anyone with information leading to the arrest and capture of Brown.
This is a dangerous individual who has committed an absolutely heinous crime against this community and these victims. I'll go ahead and announce right now that at this time we have a $7,500 reward. And that's just the initial reward. I'll also state that. But we have a $7,500 reward for any information that would lead us to Michael Paul Brown.
Knudsen also said Brown used a rifle he owned in the shooting, and officials believe he is still armed.
We can confirm that it was a rifle. At this point, I'm not going to give out a bunch of more information about that. We do know the individual had access to firearms. We believe he was probably still armed and dangerous.
Knudsen also released the names of the victims in the shooting. All 4 of them are from Anaconda. They are identified as 59-year-old Daniel Edwin Bailey, 64-year-old Nancy Loretta Kelly, 70-year-old David Allen Leach, and 74-year-old Tony Wayne Palm. One Anaconda resident we talked to reflects on the shooting and says it was scary to think about the danger locals were in.
He said they're going up that mountain, and it was pretty eerie thinking that any moment right now it could be my last. So, you know, that guy could just pop out and, you know, it would be over.
Again, officials are asking residents to remain vigilant and to keep an eye out for Brown. He's described as 5'10", 170 pounds with blue eyes and brown hair. Brown was last seen driving a stolen 2007 white Ford F-150 pickup.
What is that picture? Is he like on some Roman ruins or something? Like, what's the perspective? He looks a lot lighter than 170 pounds there.
With Montana plates with clothing and camping gear believed to be in the truck. DCI Administrator Lee Johnson said law enforcement located that truck on Friday. And as search efforts continue, the Beaverhead Deer Lodge National Forest announced closures here on this map. Take a close look. Southeast of Georgetown Lake and south of Highway 1 in the East Fork of Twin Lakes Creek. Closures are also in effect east past Barker Lakes to the Garrity Mountain Wildlife Management Area. The Mount Hagen area is also closed. These closures are anticipated to last through August 17th. Another press conference will be held tomorrow morning, as Josh mentioned, in Anaconda at the Deer Lodge County Courthouse at 11 to provide new updates. Anyone with information about the incident or Brown's whereabouts are asked to call the hotline on your number on the screen right now, 877-926-8332, or dial 911. Stay with NBC Montana on air and online line for instant updates.
We're going to a different Montana station. They've got an eyewitness to the shooting describing the aftermath and the chaos that was going on at the Anaconda shooting, mass shooting.
It's been a tense couple of days for the residents in this quiet neighborhood along Evergreen Street that leads up to Stumptown Road here behind me, where authorities have set up an incident command in the ongoing manhunt for the suspect in the mass shooting that took place on August 1st in southwest Montana.
We've been keeping our doors locked and our outside lights on just as a precaution, even during the daytime.
79-year-old John Sestrich says he just finished painting the siding on his garage around 10:30 in the morning when he heard an engine revving outside his home.
I was cleaning up my brush, then I heard this vehicle race up the street.
The truck was heading south on Evergreen Street that leads to a dead end where motorists have to either turn back into town or head west along Stumptown Road.
When it turned up our street on Evergreen, then I heard them really take off and roar. And then pretty soon I heard sirens. The person lose track of time, but it seemed like only somewhere between 10 and 15 seconds. And then 3 police cars raced up the street.
There are several miles of residential neighborhood along the north side of Stumptown Road. To the south lies a vast expanse of
Stumptown
called the Anaconda-Pintler Wilderness, where authorities are in the 4th day of searching for 45-year-old Michael Brown, the man they believe is responsible for murdering 3 patrons and a bartender of the Owl Bar.
When I found out what was going on, that it's really odd that the police didn't catch him in that shortest span. Stumptown Road is all dirt, and you'd see the dirt from the Mr. Brown racing up the road where he turned off or something. And so it was really odd that they didn't catch him right away.
On Sunday morning, authorities with local, state, and federal agencies utilized air and ground teams to search the area.
We've got tremendous cooperation from Homeland Security, from our federal partners, the FBI, the U.S. Marshal Service. We want to find this guy. This is a dangerous individual who has committed an absolutely heinous crime against this community and these victims.
Montana Attorney General Austin Knudsen says a reward of $7,500 is offered for information leading to the suspect, who is considered to be armed and dangerous. But John says that despite his proximity to the search location, he is grateful for the law enforcement present.
Well, I really feel safe here because the command center is just 2 blocks up. So I know the person isn't going to be right here in my area.
The public is asked to call 911 immediately if they encounter Michael Brown. A hotline has been set up for tips at 1-877-WANTED-2. In Anaconda, Megan Thompson, MTN News.
Wanted to. I guess that's a good phone number. Don't narc. You're not going to receive any money. Yet another manhunt, this one in Tennessee. I think this dude killed his family?
This is News Channel 3 at 5.
First at 5 on your news leader, the search for Austin Drummond continues at this hour in Jackson, Tennessee, as the man wanted for 4 murders in Lake County last week is still on the run. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Greg Hurst.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Skurlock. Drummond is charged with the murder of 4 family members last week in Lake County. WREG's Mike Sirianni is live in Jackson.
Got a lot of manhunts going on in this country right now. It's manhunt season.
Tonight, where the latest search is underway for him. Mike?
Hey, good afternoon to you, Stephanie and Greg. I am on Oil Well Road in Jackson, not very far from Union University. In this field behind me is where law enforcement officers have been staging today in the continuing search for Austin Drummond. Here's some video from earlier today. A wide search area getting attention from a variety of law enforcement agencies. This location just a couple of miles from where Drummond's vehicle was found Friday. Union University was on lockdown, as well as a few schools in this immediate area. The search for Drummond intensifying, as now 3 persons have been charged in connection to the 4 murders in Lake County. Over the weekend, 2 men were charged with accessory after the fact, and today a Jackson woman has also been charged with accessory after the fact. For people living in Jackson, just knowing
apparently people have been helping him
is frightening.
Now for him to be beside Union, it's really beside Union University, so he might have felt like he could blend. There's some trails in there, so he might have felt like he could blend in there. But anyway, they are all on lockdown and they're all ready. So hopefully the police stay safe and hopefully he's caught.
These ladies have like a neighborhood Karen watch.
For the apprehension of this man, Governor Lee's office kicked in $10,000 today, and an additional amount has been kicked in, bringing the reward total to $30,000. The TBI telling us that they're not going to schedule a press conference until something breaks in this case. And of course, when it does, we'll bring that to you on air and online. Reporting live from Jackson for your news leader, Mike Suriani, WREG News Channel 3.
Hopefully they'll get that break soon. Mike, thanks. And as he reported, a 3rd person has now been charged in connection with the Drummond case. In fact, 23-year-old Darius Sanders is now charged as an accessory after the fact to first-degree murder. The TBI says Sanders helped Drummond following last week's quadruple murder. 29-year-old Tanika Brown and 29-year-old Giovanni Thomas were previously arrested on the same charge. Brown is also charged with tampering with evidence.
And new
A lot of manhunts going on. That was the latest. Let's do this one. We're going down to Florida. A teen shot his family. We're sticking with the family shooting. Teen shot his family.
About a Clay County teen accused of killing their parents in their Middleburg home. Tonight, the 14-year-old's best friend is speaking with News 4 Jackson. Family member also shared this photo of David Lee and Brandy Smith with us.
Their 14-year-old son, Trevor Lee, is now charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder. Their home sits near Silver Point and County Road 220. News 4 Jax reporter Alicia Hatcher went to the neighborhood where it happened and spoke with the teen's friend.
One of Trevor's closest friends, Kyrie Beeman, met us right outside of the Lee family home. He says he's known Trevor since elementary school and he just saw him Friday. He also says he spoke with him over the phone around 12:30 this morning, and the conversation they had, he'll never forget.
A titty slap!
Come on now.
He'll never forget.
He told me that he loved me, and he told me that he was just calling to tell me goodnight.
The best friend of a teen now accused of murder replays the last conversation they had before learning the shocking news. Crime scene tape lined a Middleburg neighborhood Monday morning after a chilling 911 call from a 14-year-old boy.
Our 911 communications center received a call from a young man who stated he had just killed his parents. He stated that deputies could find his parents at the house and that he had walked just over a mile away to a church.
Deputies responded and arrested 14-year-old Trevor Lee. When deputies got to the home, they found David Lee and Brandy Smith shot and killed inside.
Preliminary investigation, and we're still very early in this investigation, it appears that there was some sort of domestic argument last night between Trevor Lee and his parents, and that this shooting culminated from that argument.
When we arrived on scene, a family member was there but declined to speak. But one person did open up, someone who didn't just know the family, he considered them his own.
They were probably the best or one of the best families I knew. They were funny and they treated me very well. They told me all the time that they loved me like a son and they treated me as such.
Kyrie says it's still hard to believe, but he hopes people remember Trevor for more than just what happened.
he's not a bad person just because he made one bad decision. He's done so much for everyone I know, and I don't want him just to be known as a killer or a murderer, and that he was a great kid, a great son.
Coming up, Jax X6 will share the moment Kyrie says he will always cherish that he shared with the Lee family. For now reporting, Alicia Hatcher, Channel 4, the local station.
We got some crazy cop stories coming up. A New Jersey police sergeant shot their ex-girlfriend in a double murder. I hope the puppy's all right.
Chilling double murder in New Jersey. Lauren Semanchik and Tyler Webb were shot and killed on Friday. It is believed a New Jersey state trooper was behind the attack before taking his own life. The shooting happened at Semanchik's home in Franklin Township in Hunterdon County. As Christine Sloan reports, her family says she tried to protect herself before it was too late.
The family of Dr. Lauren Semanchik facing unimaginable grief after the beloved veterinarian and her new boyfriend, volunteer firefighter Tyler Webb, were shot and killed inside the Pittsdown section of Franklin Township.
Lauren had the biggest heart. She loved animals, and she was so good with them. She gave so much of her life to other people, and she deserved so much better.
The Hunterdon County Prosecutor's Office says it appears Semanchik's ex-boyfriend, New Jersey State Police Sergeant Ricardo Santos, is responsible for the murders of Semanchik and Webb. Prosecutors say Santos was found nearly an hour away, dead inside his Mercedes from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
He needs to have accountability, needs to be taken because he took the cowardly way out by taking his own life.
Semanchik's family tells me it was her father who made the tragic discovery.
She was running away. She was shot in the back.
Prosecutors say while the victims were discovered Saturday, Franklin Township Police responded to reports of gunshots and screams in the area Friday night, but left unable to find a source of either. Family members say Santos had been stalking Semanchik since they broke up almost a year ago after only dating for 3 months.
She tried to block him many times, and he continued to call her from restricted numbers, and he showed up at her work. That's where the car was keyed. He put recording devices in her home, water in her gas tank. He harassed her left and right.
CBS News New York has learned Santos worked on Governor Phil Murphy's detail a few years ago. The governor's spokesperson saying, quote, "We are shocked and devastated by this horrific tragedy," but saying they can't comment further because of the investigation.
A lot of agencies failed her. She tried to get restraining orders. Nobody called her back.
The Hunterdon County Prosecutor's Office is urging anyone with information about this case to contact them. This, as Semanchik's family tells me, they will continue to seek justice. In Pittsdown, New Jersey, Christine Sloan, CBS News New York.
We're going to go south down the coast. Another cop-related story. Seriously, stop dating cops. That doesn't mean you won't get shot by one. A motorcyclist shot by police following a road rage incident. This happened in Philadelphia.
Tonight, we are learning more about the suspect accused in a road rage incident that later involved a police officer firing their service weapon. This happened over the weekend in Bucks County. Bensalem police say an officer shot a motorcyclist following a chase, and this all unfolded after that motorcyclist allegedly threatened a driver with a gun. Action News reporter John Paul live for us now in Bensalem. There's plenty of details for the story, and John, you also obtained some new video in this investigation.
That's right, Shara. We did get some video. It was actually from a camera that just over my shoulder at a business, recorded the whole thing. Now, I'm on Bristol Pike. This is where it happened. If you look over there, you see the orange paint. That is where the police cruiser and that motorcycle ended up just before this officer-involved shooting. They say all stemmed from a case of road rage. That suspect was shot. He is alive tonight, but we're also learning he'd been accused of road rage just last week. Action News obtained this video of a police-involved shooting in Bensalem on Saturday afternoon after a road rage incident. Watch as a police car pulls sideways behind this white car, and then you see a man run away. Seconds later, the officer fired their weapon. The man who was shot has now been identified as 44-year-old John Mathis. He remains in the hospital in guarded condition.
Just imagine if you're driving with your family in your car and some guy pulls up on a motorcycle next to you and points a gun at your head.
Bensalem police say the couple in the white car was being threatened by Mathis, who was on a motorcycle with his face covered with a mask. The victims say Mathis pointed a gun at them and followed them down Bristol Pike, so they called 911. You can see in the video when the officer got on scene, he put the cruiser in between the car and the motorcycle.
The suspect on the motorcycle abruptly accelerated and slammed into the side of the police cruiser and then fled on foot, armed with a handgun.
Officers say Mathis still had the gun and would not comply with commands, so the veteran officer opened fire.
He then had to make the decision to fire his weapon to end the threat.
Tonight, we're learning Mathis has a history of road rage. Just last week, he was arrested after an incident in Levittown where he's accused of causing a crash and then using a baseball bat to smash the windshield of a car. Police say he has several other arrests dating back to 2001.
He's someone who has continually victimized residents of Bucks County.
Now, the Bucks County District Attorney's Office also put out a statement today saying that Mathis had a GPS monitor on at one point this year, but cut it off and was even wanted on a warrant at the time of all this. Now, the Bucks County DA is in charge of investigating all this. The officer right now is on administrative leave. That is standard procedure. We're live tonight in Bensalem. John Paul, Channel 6 Action News. Shari?
Yeah, a lot of twists and turns in the story. Okay, John, thank you.
Yeah, what a story. Dating men is a bad idea. True alien, welcome in. I say this as a man. You probably a bad idea. We're going to go to Vegas where apparently a cop was drugged behind a vehicle. Which could be fun. This could be a fun story.
First with breaking news.
2 officers injured.
Starts now.
We start with breaking news tonight. Metro Police say 2 of its officers are in the hospital tonight. Officers say they were attacked during an investigation in the Southwest Valley. Fox 5's Kim Passoff is live on the scene with
That's fun.
With what we know tonight, Kim.
And we are still trying to figure out exactly what happened here. I'm going to step out of the way, though, so you can see what we are seeing here on the scene. There is a Metro squad car that is smashed up in the middle of the roadway here. This is Blue Diamond. We don't know how it got there, but it does have significant damage to it. And there's another vehicle on the side of the road, in the median of the road, that looks like it was involved in an accident as well. The doors are open. And then there's a large commercial vehicle right next to that with the hood open. So we don't know exactly what happened, but here's what Metro tells us so far. It was around 7 tonight that they responded here at Blue Diamond in Hinson. This is the Target parking lot. Officers responded to a theft call here on Blue Diamond Road. They attempted to make contact with a group of suspects who were in their vehicle fleeing, and during that exchange, at least 1 officer was attacked by those suspects. 2 officers were transported to a local hospital, we're told, with injuries. Those injuries, though, are said to be not life-threatening. They are
I bet the cops were speeding.
In all, we know that 4 suspects have been taken into custody here. And right now, Blue Diamond westbound at Hinson is closed. That is where this Metro squad car is, in the middle of the road. Traffic in this area right now is a nightmare. If we can look at this shopping center, all the traffic is being rerouted through there. So it will take you quite a bit of time to get through this area if you do need to travel down the Blue Diamond Highway at this point tonight. And we are promised an update from Metro. They said,
yeah, the way they're wording it is weird.
At some point tonight, we don't know when that will be, but as soon as we do learn more information, of course, we will bring it to you. And that's the latest. Reporting live tonight, Kim Passoff, Fox 5 News, local, Las Vegas.
This was 2 days ago, and there's not been an update since.
Reporter, you saw that very large police presence and very large footprint of closures in that area. We're going to continue to follow this breaking news story and bring you more information as it comes into our newsroom.
Yeah, I think something's up. No updates on this story. If something wasn't up, we would have heard something fishy. Okay, so this was the press conference, and he says one of them got drugged by a car.
Hello, how's everybody doing? Everybody ready? Anybody need a mic check or anything? We're all good? We're all good.
He kind of looks like Maynard.
I appreciate everybody's patience while we sorted through some of these details.
Sing me a Tool song.
It's Captain Ryan Wiggins, RyanWiggins. I'm with the Las Vegas Metropolitan.
You ain't fooling me. Tell me about your wine.
Oversight and Constitutional Policing Bureau. I'm here to provide you guys with preliminary information on a critical incident that occurred in the area of Blue Diamond Road and Henson Street. At approximately 7 p.m., LVMPD Communications received a call for service reference a theft that occurred in the 4100 block of Blue Diamond Road at a nearby business. Officers responded to the area and located a suspect that matched the description of the theft in the parking lot.
Wiggins.
The officer attempted to take that person into custody, and that person resisted the officer. Several other suspects then began intervening and got in the way of the officer trying to take that suspect into custody. The officer continued to try to take that suspect into custody as that person went into a nearby vehicle. The officer held on to that suspect to try and continue to take them into custody, at which time the driver of that vehicle sped away at a high rate of speed while the officer was still holding on to the suspect and was being dragged by the vehicle. That vehicle continued southbound through the parking lot and entered the roadway and ultimately crashed into the landscaping rocks on the north side of the street. Additional responding officers came to the area, and an unrelated white box truck collided with another LVMPD marked patrol unit.
It was that airmarked truck we saw.
Additional injuries. 4 suspects were taken into custody related to this incident. 1 officer was transported to a local hospital with serious injuries, but are non-life threatening. The second officer was transported to a hospital with minor injuries. 2 citizens.
Well, boo. We're going to go to Texas, where a hot female cop that Flash says don't fall for, she's apparently in some kind of a TikTok controversy.
Constable deputy under an internal investigation after posting a TikTok that went viral. In this video, she suggests since she didn't get what she wanted the night before, everyone is getting a ticket. Fox 26's
She didn't get fucked last night, so everyone's getting a ticket today.
Mejia in West Houston getting answers from the sheriff's office and speaking with residents there.
In a viral video that has since been deleted, we see a Precinct 5 constable deputy joining on a TikTok trend and having some fun, but that could cause her to lose her job. Don't stop yet, get it. In the video, you can see the deputy taking some notes, joining in on the TikTok trend and blurring out certain parts of.
Didn't get cracked last night. Like she means split open, right? Yeah.
Her uniform, but she leaves her name visible to see. We saw other videos on her account where she's in uniform doing some TikTok trends. Her account has since deleted, and we spoke to some people here in the Precinct 5 area who tells us she's free to do whatever she wants on her personal time, but when she's representing the company and representing the law enforcement agency that she works for, she has to be more cautious.
I think it's real inappropriate and disrespectful.
It's very unprofessional, you know what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't be doing nothing like that. It's unprofessional.
We reached out to the Harris County Precinct 5 Constable's office for a statement on this viral video that has since been deleted, and this is what they told us. Our administration is aware and Internal Affairs has opened an investigation. We have no other comment at this time, end quote.
You know, when you're professional, you're, you know what I'm saying? Like, you talk a certain way. You carry yourself a certain way when you're in your work clothes. That's what you do outside of work. That's cool, but in work, you don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think she should have did that.
Does this make you, like, distrust the people that's supposed to be serving and protecting this area?
I feel like they playing. No.
Who didn't give her dick?
You ain't taking nothing serious. You gonna write me some tickets because you ain't get cracked. It's crazy, but hey, it's society and the world we living in right now.
Not as much as distrust, but really...
What is this world we're living in?
Doesn't make them look professional. You know, when they start posting videos like that, you can't even take them seriously. Then they wonder why. Hey,
I don't take them seriously.
why you didn't respect me, or why you talking to me like that? Well, because you don't treat yourself like a woman, and you ain't treating yourself like a police officer.
The Internal Affairs investigation is still ongoing. We'll keep you updated with the results from that investigation as soon as we know it. Reporting in West Houston, Jonathan Mejia, Fox 26 News.
Why do you emphasize West Houston? Why? Well, now I can't go back to fucking... I didn't know that was going to be that story. I can't go back to people dying now. Let's go to people almost dying. This was a train in New York City. People had to flee the flames.
With breaking news, major disruptions to PATH train service. Look at those flames. Those were spewing from inside a train car at the Newport station.
Just imagine being on that train. This is in Jersey City, and now we can see what it's like from inside. The fire started.
Oh, Jersey. That explains things.
Though it's not exactly clear how it started.
What we do know is that several people were treated for smoke inhalation, and some trains are still suspended. So let's get right to Eyewitness News reporter Jaysha Patel with the breaking details for us. Jaysha?
Pedro, Charlene, Danny, good morning. Well, I can tell you this has caused a nightmare commute for so many people this morning. We're outside of the Newport station. This is actually the station I frequent every single day on my way back from work. And behind me, you can see that the entrance has been taped off. And this morning, people were scrambling, trying to get into an...
Had to make your news reporting all about you, did you?
People trying to do the same thing. It was really hard to find drivers this morning. And this is all happening...
Also, probably shouldn't do that. You just kind of...
This morning.
I can imagine you're a very attractive lady. You probably have some stalkers there in New Jersey. Probably shouldn't tell them you take that train station home every night.
Pedro, Charlene, Danny, good morning. Well, I can tell you this has caused a nightmare commute for so many people this morning. We're outside of the Newport station. This is actually the station I frequent every single day on my way back from work. And behind me, you can see that the entrance has been taped.
She was just saying that.
People were scrambling, trying to get into an Uber or a Lyft. But with so many people trying to do the same thing, it was really hard to find drivers this morning. And this is all happening because around
several of the women at the TV station I worked at had stalkers, so I can imagine it a much bigger Jaysha with a J, J-A-Y.
Were evacuated on the platform, and many this morning have also opted to go to the Exchange Place station, which is about a 20-minute walk from here. You can see the crowds of people there waiting to get on the train. We know this morning that 13 people were treated for smoke inhalation, 9 were taken to the hospital, and currently service is suspended between Journal Square and 33rd Street and Hoboken in the World Trade Center. Newscopter 7 video from earlier this morning showed the fire response out here.
The World Trade Center?
As people were scrambling to find a new way to work this morning.
I take it every morning, to go to work. I work in the city at Bellevue, and today I'm started in a new clinic, so this is not a good thing. I'm going to be late, and it's not a good look for me.
I commute into the city about 4 days a week. This is my normal station. It's usually reliable, but looks like on days like today, it is not. So just a little frustrating, start of the week, but we gotta go move over to Exchange Place, looks like.
I mean, they can't help it there was a fire.
Restored between those two lines, and so this definitely could impact your commute throughout the day, especially coming home from work. So you definitely want to check your commute before you head home from work this morning, or later today, excuse me. Live in Jersey City, Jaysha Patel, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Thanks, Jaysha.
Official, I will not be traveling to LA for Jubilee. I did not hear back from them, which is good because I'm still really nervous about ever getting on a plane again. And stories like this definitely don't help. A United pilot declared Mayday.
New details today after a United Airlines flight traveling from Washington Dulles International Airport had to make an emergency landing shortly after taking off last month. This was a plane that was carrying 230 people. It was bound for Munich when it was forced to return to Dulles after the pilot declared a mayday call over suspected engine failure. Just take a listen to this audio from air traffic control as the United crew declares the emergency.
Failure, engine failure, left engine, United 108, declaring an emergency, mayday, mayday, mayday.
United 108 Heavy, roger that, sir. Be able to make your way back into the field at this time. You can turn right, heading 100 if able.
That's so calm for a mayday.
Watch this flight tracking video shortly after takeoff. You see the plane making a couple of turns in a holding pattern before it makes it safely back on the ground. United canceled the flight to Munich, but says it was able to get passengers onto different flights. We're joined now by CNN aviation analyst Miles O'Brien. He's also a science correspondent for the PBS NewsHour. Miles, great to see you as always. It seems like the United crew and air traffic control dealt with this emergency as smoothly as they could. What kind of protocols go into place when a pilot realizes that an engine has failed?
Well, the thing to keep in mind here, Boris, is that flight crews train for this kind of scenario repeatedly in simulators. The idea of losing an engine just as you depart is obviously a very critical time, and you want to make sure you drill this in a way where you have
critical
procedures,
yeah,
radio calls, all the buttons to push.
Then again, having the engine working
to be going through
during the entire flight is
sounds
kind
like
of
this
critical.
crew pretty much did everything by the playbook. They did issue a mayday call, as you heard, which usually implies a very urgent need to get back to the airport. In this case, as you saw, they flew around for in excess of an hour. Why, you ask? Well, they depart at a weight that exceeds the recommended arrival weight, and so they were burning off fuel to avoid that. So it's an emergency, but once you've leveled off on one engine, this aircraft is actually certified to fly 5.5 hours on one engine across the ocean. So it's hair-raising, it's critical, but it also stabilized pretty quickly.
So if you're inside the plane as a passenger, Miles, can you get a sense? I mean, is that the pilot, are they trying to compensate because they...
I ain't want to be up there flying without no engine.
The fuel being dumped, can you actually see that?
Well, the 787, Brianna, does not have dumping capacity. That was actually taken out of its design to save on the amount of weight, the amount of plumbing. It's another point of failure. And so it is certified to land at its takeoff weight if need be. You have to go through a series of inspections. So if you can avoid it, you do, which is what this crew did. So they went around and just burned some fuel off. Now, as for what passengers might have seen, depends on how that engine failed. If there was an engine fire, which we didn't hear them report, but if there was a fire, that would definitely get your attention. Fire extinguisher system on the engine inside it to douse those things pretty quickly. But when it's burning, you're going to pay attention.
Yeah, I'm definitely closing the window as soon as I see that. I would rather just leave it in the pilot's hand.
Your windows are open? Oh, wait a minute.
Trust the pilot.
He means the screen.
Stepping back, talk to us about why engines fail. Like, what is it that...
Mechanical issues. That's how they fail. This pilot in Florida pulled an emergency landing on a highway. I feel like this is like the 5th time we've watched this one. Last couple of weeks. Constantly seeing little one-engine planes make landings like this. Clipped a car as it landed. No injuries reported. My heart goes out to friends in Minnesota. They apparently are running low on weed. Minnesota peeps, I'm sorry that you are running low on weed.
Well, the race to be the state's first licensed cannabis retailer should cross the finish line this week one way or another.
So the shops are in Duluth and Albert Lee, but here's the catch. They do not have the supply just yet. So Fox 9's Corin Hoggard is live in Minneapolis at the sister store of the Duluth retailer. Corin, it may not be a surprise. We've been talking about this, but the bottom line is that these shops cannot sell yet.
No, Kelsey and Simone, the supply just isn't there right now. Really, the advocates for cannabis had asked the state to let cultivators start a little bit before the rest of the market. That never happened, and so here we are with the cultivators getting in line with everybody else. Now, the Office of Cannabis Management has actually issued 4 licenses with retail endorsements, but anybody who wants to sell retail really only has one place to go to buy legal weed.
So yeah, just a little bit of demo, going on here. This will be a big mural on this wall.
The shelves and even the walls are still empty at Josh Wilkins Simon's Lynn Lake location. He's hoping to open here around October and in Woodbury in a couple weeks. But he's also consulting on his brother's Duluth retail shop, which may be the first to open under a state license.
I expect that as one of the first statewide dispensaries open in Minnesota, that there's going to be long lines and crowds.
The store got zoning approval, passed a state inspection, and got its retail registration from Duluth. What it hasn't gotten, though, is cannabis to sell. The state has
ain't got no weed. They got no integrity.
Retailers are not expecting to buy from those businesses until this winter or later. Tribes had a head start of up to 2 years, but for now, only White Earth Nation has a compact with the state allowing them to wholesale cannabis. So Legacy's opening date is likely this week, but it depends on White Earth's supply.
They are just kind of dotting their I's, crossing their T's to make sure that they're doing everything not only legal with the state of Minnesota, but legal with their tribal nation to be able to sell their cannabis products to a state licensed store.
And industry insiders think White Earth can probably supply 20 or 30 retailers in addition to their own stores in St. Cloud and Moorhead. They're also expecting other tribes to pretty soon start signing compacts with the state to allow them to also get more cannabis into the markets. Live in Minneapolis, Corin Hoggard, Fox 9.
All right, thank you, Corin.
See, I don't understand how, we had stores that were already selling before they could legally sell it, just when it was legal. I assume that's what the situation Minnesota has been in for the last couple of years. Let's go down to Panama City, where we're apparently going to watch a stingray and a shark battle it out. It's the UFC fight you didn't know you needed. Shark versus stingray. Who's your money on?
God, is it eating it?
The shark?
Oh my God, it ate something.
Nope, pretty sure this is real, Dougie. Did the shark devour it? I can't leave you with this as the animal video. That would be wrong of me. There's a kid crying about it.
Oh my God, is it eating it?
I can't even tell what's going on.
Oh my god, it ate something.
We think the shark ate the stingray? Or did it eat a kid? Yeah, here's Puppy Bus. Cause I can't have that be the animal video. This is Mo Mountain Mutts. Love them. Look how well behaved they all are. Do you see that one puppy smile?
These two are going to get picked up. The rest of them are going to stay. Good. Sit.
Put that butt down.
Good stay. They have somewhere to be. Yep, I see ya. Thank you for riding with Mo Mountain Mutts. Would you guys like a complimentary treat?
Uh-oh, treat time.
Wesson, shh, sit. Good boy. Shh. Up front here, we have little Louie.
Louie!
Soft little beef stick. He's got to get some teeth pulled. Been giving him soft stuff. Carl. Echo. Lila.
Bragwoods.
John and Jake.
Jake was slobbering, just waiting for it. Mouth watering.
Tater.
Tater. It is Live Music Monday. We're doing 9 Inch Nails.
Wesson.
Wesson. Oh.
Mika. Belden.
Look at these babies.
Wrigley. Amaru.
Oh, I would assume all these dogs belong to wealthy people.
Please stay in your seats. Pause to yourself. Tails out of the aisle.
They can afford doggy daycare for their puppies.
Stay out of the aisle, Jake. Good boy. Echo, Louie, and Carl. You are
White boy Carl.
Emergency exit. Are you willing and capable of offloading the pups in a remote chance of an emergency? Did you hear the instructions?
Twitch people, we're doing Live Music Monday. It's 9 Inch Nails. Coming at you in just like a minute.
I hope so.
YouTube people, Kick, Rumble, Podcast, light one up, tip one back. It's all right to have a little fun before you hit the sack. I'm JustinFREAKIN. We'll see you tomorrow night on the Troll Patrol. Live.